I'll adjust the overlay slightly because cameras are slightly off, but not enough to not go live. Hello, everybody. We're live with Nobilis, episode 1. And as is common for Nobilis, none of us have any idea what we're doing. Zen has the most idea, but also Nobilis prevents us from really knowing what we're doing.
How about all of us except for the person who knows what we're doing say what Nobilis is?
Yeah, let's see if we've got any common ground at all here.
I played it before, so I'll go last.
Oh, I'm under the impression we're very specific gods, and we just walk around doing things that kind of sort of fit in our very specific niche.
Yeah, I understand that we are kind of like the sub-gods under a god, and it is... we can define what that sub-godhood is to some degree.
Divinity bureaucracy? Seems like what it is. I have like no idea. I just know it's gonna get weird.
Yeah,
we're
kind of like gods that embody specific concepts, and we need to defend reality from the army of non-existence, which is coming to destroy it.
That is an aspect, yes.
There's a lot of pieces to reality that is in conflict with each other.
And there are no dice. I remember
and there are no dice.
Yes.
Unless someone wants to be the god of dice, and then there'll be lots of dice.
But dice will not be used to resolve the actions of the god.
Well, maybe.
So yeah, Nobilis.
Yeah, as one of my powers, I like to write down: roll a d20 instead of spend power points.
Roll a d20, spend that many power points.
Actually, that wouldn't be great.
That would be awful.
So Nobilis is a little bit of all of that, and whatever else you can make of it. So the players specifically are going to be playing what are known as nobles or powers. You are imbued with a portion of your boss, who's known as an imperator. Your boss is going to be the god of 4 things, and each of you will be one of those things. So it could be like the god of lightning, chores, chocolate muffins, and jokes.
That's a weird combo, but sure.
Literally anything.
Literally anything.
A building block of reality.
Loki really expanded after he killed Thor.
Mosquitoes. Even mosquitoes. That would be actually quite fun to do.
And as far as what you do as powers, that is largely defined in what direction we want to go. There is a current war for all of existence against these things called excrucians, which want to... The short answer is they want to destroy physical reality, but the long answer is they think it's all a lie and they want you to see the lie. Other than that, you can go political intrigue with it by being a noble amongst the nobilis and going, to fancy parties and talking to other imperators and all kinds of political intrigue there.
It's more of a setting than a game. The game isn't so much about what you do; it's about where you are and who you are.
We could be stealing things from other people's bosses.
So to illustrate this point,
we could do heist.
There's I'm currently showing you the difficulty chart for this game. Now notice that it goes from 0 to 9 for your task difficulties. But notice that the hardest thing to do is defined as 9 or more. Do the right thing. For some fuzzy definition of right.
Yeah, this game has a very strong sense of tone.
Yeah, so the hardest thing for you to do is actually the right thing.
I do like how one is make yourself happy.
I'm glad that's the easiest choice.
Yeah,
One
the
of the
easiest
easiest
thing to
things.
do is make yourself happy. The second easiest thing to do is have a tangible impact. Accomplish a simple task. Do something correctly is next. Something impressive.
Yep.
But you notice that these are not like particularly goal oriented. It's more about how you
They're
feel
not.
when the goal is accomplished, or how the action is perceived. Until you get up to like,
is do something that actually moves you closer to your goals. So 1 through 3 isn't
1
that
through 3
No,
is
it's not that at all.
No.
We just
Yeah.
did a thing. I threw the rock.
Woo!
It
I'm
got
happy
thrown.
about throwing the rock.
Yeah.
Didn't
Never
hit
been so
anything.
happy to throw Dwayne in my life.
So in my interpretation of this game, which is vastly open to it, for as Nobilis the book is written kind of esoterically, it's a bit of a fever dream. I mean, there's structure there, but you really got to dig to pull out the game, in my
The
opinion.
structure doesn't seem to be the most important part of its writing practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so the getting started part is probably going to be the hardest thing, and once we're rolling, it'll be fine. But building
So
up to
there
that
are
point is going to be
We just really need to shoehorn dice back in.
That'll make us all more comfortable.
yeah, well, get ready to be uncomfortable.
Game about comfort.
I like to be the noble of comfort. I don't do anything.
Noble of comfort.
What is your power? Hedonism.
What is your power? Lazy boy. That's what
Good
Yeah.
power.
My TV remote is always within arm's reach.
God, that would be so amazing. You don't know how many times my wife and I have been laying in bed or laying on the couch, and I went like, "Where's the fucking remote?"
Yep.
Like, I
Yeah.
just had it. I just turned this on.
Yesterday,
The only time I can
put
find it
together a
is
new
when
coffee
someone
table, and
sits
was
on it
under the new coffee
and
table.
turns off the show.
All right, but the easiest thing, in my opinion, to do is just jump straight into the game. So, unless anybody has anything else that they want to get off their chest,
I would say I'm sorry for the impulse decisions I'm gonna make in the next
Honestly,
hour.
this is one of the
That'll
best
I mean,
games
we've-
derail
I've
the
played, I
whole
would
concept,
say.
but I'm
We've-
really not.
we've been playing long enough. I've long since put to bed any problems I have with that.
And I've already warned you what I'm going to be. It's fine.
All right, so as for an introduction, we begin in darkness. You have a sense of being aware, and that awareness brings to attention the fact that you exist. It's an interesting sensation. Wait, sensation. It's like a response to stimulus or something, right? That's a novel idea. You could use that to perceive things and hang on, what's this you keep referring to? There, you did it just now. And again, that's right, you are you. You exist, and you're able to process external data collected by your senses to inform your own existence. It's kind of neat. In that moment, your awareness becomes self-awareness. You know that you exist as a physical object, but all you see, all you experience is the blackness of an infinite void in your own slowly coagulating consciousness. It's not terrible, but it is boring after a while. The floating feeling's relaxing, though. As you begin to contemplate exactly what you're floating in, you begin to hear a sound. It takes a moment for you to recognize that it's a voice. Is it your voice? No, surely you'd know if you were the one making the noise. Maybe, oh wait, those sounds the voice is making, they're words. That's what they are. They mean things. Maybe they mean something important. Maybe you should try to interpret those words by processing them with your senses. You vaguely remember there's a word for that. Oh, what the hell is it? Listening. That's what that's called. All right, that's enough futzing around. We've got things to do, and I'm not wasting my precious time waiting on you. Get up already. I hate this part, Merryweather. You schlep these humans across the bounds of reality and they show up all betray it. Takes too long for them to pull themselves together. Then you hear another voice. This one's slightly different. Oh, I agree, my dear. This type of thing is simply not done. But, well, needs must, I suppose. Hello? Are you in there? If you can hear me, don't panic. Everything is normal. You'll feel right as rain in a few moments, I assure you. Now you should be experiencing reality again very shortly. Sorry, you were pulled out of it and sort of, well, crammed back in, I suppose you could say. All very normal, nothing to fret. One possible side effect is a keen sense of not having a sense of who you are. It's only temporary, there's a process to these things, you know. Anyway, the keys to who you are should be along momentarily. Oh, drat. I do apologize, as I should have noted that sometimes they don't look like keys. Sometimes they're eggs or puzzle pieces or some such. Reality always has a way of being metaphorical, don't you know? Although now that I've said they are keys, then maybe you shall probably perceive them as such. Suggestible instantiation at its finest, eh, what? Anyway, shan't be long now. Do you see anything emblematically, symbolically, or allegorically key-like? As the voices fade, a new sensation is given to you. You vaguely see something in the inky blackness. 16 keys shimmer into existence, spinning in circles, dancing in front of you. They seem to signify something, and you realize that you understand the intrinsic nature of each key. They each mean something important, possibly even something important about you. As you study the keys before you, you feel pulled to two of them in particular. We'll roll into character creation.
Cool.
So, avatar creation. Here's a step-by-step guide. In the book, on page 120, I believe, is a list of keys. These keys are named after plants and represent important aspects of a character. The main features of a key are the heart and the shadow. The heart of the key is the central driving force, and within that heart, you'll define who you are and what motivates you. The shadow of a key is something that challenges the heart. It contains the things and attachments that hinder you. Each heart and shadow has a bulleted list of descriptors. The heart list, when you look at it, is merely a suggestion. The shadow lists, if you have to choose from them, will become parts of the character. Those aren't up for interpretation.
My pen is dead.
Are we allowed to
Give
get
me a
duplicate
sec.
keys?
Like, use the same key twice?
Or
Between
use
the
the same
four
key
of
as-
us.
Between
yeah, that's
characters,
fine.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have mine.
Yep, ditto.
Okay.
Oh.
So when you choose your keys, write the name of the heart outside its circle. Write the name of the shadow outside of its circle. Write the number of the key on the line that connects its heart and shadow.
So
I know one of my keys.
roll a d15.
Yeah. If you want, I could do, if you want to put it on Roll20s, then I could do mine in Roll20 as an example, and we could see if that's right for where things are being written. Would that work?
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just put up a blank one for you.
Perfect.
Just do.
So, should I read out my keys now or choose now?
Yeah, go ahead and just read it out as we're filling it in.
Okay. So the first key that I'm going for is, this is key 7, the Star of Bethlehem. The key of something changed forever. At the center of your life is some great mystery, a great love, tragedy, spiritual or personal experience, something still almost comprehensible to you. It changed everything. So, first thing I'm going to do is write that in. Above it, you said?
Mm-hmm. Name of the heart goes above that circle, name of the shadow goes above that circle, and the number of the key goes on that yellow line there.
Yep. Select
So the name of the key doesn't actually go anywhere? Oh.
Just, you can put that wherever. You can put it like with the number on the line.
Yeah, that's where I put it. So that makes sense. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm still tweaking it. That's a bit too big. There we go. And I can't center it. Oh well. Okay. And then I'll write them on the GM. I can't copy paste. That'll take me a bit to get used to. What it made me is here.
Is there anything we should be punching into the actual Roll20 or just on the sheet of paper?
I'm
Just
doing
on the
mine
sheet
as
of
an
paper for
example
now.
to make sure to
Okay.
like check if it's done right and yeah.
Yep.
And then how it changed the world is the shadow. After that, I'm gonna fill in the bullet points.
Yep. You begin with a blank bullet point in each heart to be filled as soon as you figure out what that key means in your life. So everyone has a blank bullet point in each heart.
Yes, my key specifically, the heart says the top bullet point of this heart will summarize who you are when you're thinking about this. So I think that's
Is that
basically.
below the blank one?
I think
or-
that's supposed to be the blank one. If I'm not mistaken.
Then you write the specific bullet points named by the key in the shadow circle after that. Yeah. So
It's not clear what the term top bullet point in the
Yeah.
Bethlehem means.
I would say everyone gets a free bullet point to write in whatever, and then put in whatever the book says underneath that.
Okay.
You mean in addition to
So I'll just
the top bullet point from the key?
yes.
Yes. So you get a wild card basically as your top bullet point.
Yep.
And
So the next one I'll do is what it says. So who you are thinking about this. And I'll clean it up in terms of font size. Now
Circle empty. Okay.
I'll fill them in after. Right now I'm just putting them in the things. So my shadow has two specific it's about how important what happened really was. The stronger the shadow, the more legitimate and dramatic and world shattering the event in question was. So yeah.
Yeah, so you write in I can't let go and I'm committed
Yep,
in the
it's set
shadow
the
circle.
shadow.
For both of mine, it says leave the shadow empty. Does that mean I should have a bullet point in there, or?
I think we said yes, because you always have one blank, or is it just in the heart?
That's just in the heart. In the shadow, which key is yours?
Clematis and oak, and both of them say don't touch the shadow.
Clematis, I believe, is key 4. Shadow. There could be something that you. Yeah, it says leave the shadow circle empty for now. You do not add anything immediately to the shadow.
So not even an empty bullet point.
Nope.
Okay.
So in this case, how am I still organizing my life about the transformation? I'm going to go with the most straightforward at first. My first bullet point will be comatose. We'll get to that.
We're just starting in a coma?
Yep. We'll get to that.
So that's a choice. Okay.
Yep.
I've warned
this has been discussed. We're fine.
I know. I believe it. It's just a bold starting
We're starting
point.
there. I mean, in the sidebars, it's like what to do if you're starting as a tree or an animal.
Yeah.
So
I figured it wasn't relatively that extreme.
I just like that there's mechanical things that you do if you're starting as an animal or like an alien or it's amazing.
Yeah, you'll have to save some points later for it.
And for my second one, I'm starting as probably misspelled chamomile. Yours should be 1L. There we go. So
I've got mine as well.
Okay. Do you want to go before I go my second one? Do you want to just do like one key at a time?
Yeah, if you want to go through it. What you
I
got?
just mean you can do the other. Oh, sorry, you have your other key. Let's do that one first.
Okay. Key of something romantic. You're a romantic, dashing hero or heroine, full of life, larger than life, and willing to take on more than you can handle. The heart of this key is named the Dream. It makes you a shining silver screen ideal. Write something in the heart circle to summarize who you are, such as dashing pirate, hero, perfect spy, or mad genius. The shadow is named the Cost. The stronger it is, the harder you have to work to be perfect all the time, and the greater price you have to pay to keep going. Leave it empty for now. So that's my second key. So this is going to be the Dream. We're going to have one blank at first, and then we're going to have the epitome kind of, I'm going to go with mischievous child, which I also can't spell, but that. Those are my two selections.
All right.
So we want to go over what the other people selected, or
Yep. Oh, you did it.
Indigo?
Yeah, who wants to go next with their hearts and shadows?
I got mine. I got for the first key, Minimalist. It's the something restless. So the heart is my path. And it's supposed to be what you are when you wander, is what the way it was described.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just put down the needed hand, just like help. Walk around and help.
So you're everyone's supporting character.
Yeah, everyone's supporting character. Like I'm just the help that you needed to get the thing done.
Perfect.
Right.
And then why it feels empty is the shadow, and it auto fills in self-doubt and the things I've left behind.
Brutal.
The second key is also oak. And it's what is your identity for the heart? And a barista extraordinaire is the answer. And then the shadow is just called crisis, and it's to be unveiled later, as in I leave it empty and something will fill in to be my crisis.
Fair enough.
Well, we've got a bit of an overlap there. I guess I'll go next. For my first key, I chose Clematis, key 4. You've been touched by grace. You've seen the true face of the universe, the giver of gifts unbounded, unearned, unasked for. You are blessed. The world is blessed. People are blessed. Under all of its masks, the world is awesomely, unshakably good. So the heart of this key is I have witnessed this, and the top bullet point is who you are when you are thinking about that, and I just put in someone who believes. And then the shadow was why I doubt, and that was supposed to be left empty. So for the second one, I also picked oak there, and so oak was, I think, the unchanging one.
The key of something that hasn't changed.
Yeah, you're the one that stays steady when things are at their worst. You're the rock that other people can cling to, the most stubborn obstacle in their way. So for the my identity heart of that key, I did searcher for personal growth. And my crisis was also undefined because it is the same.
Okay.
Is that your second one?
That's my second one, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here.
The correct
my
choice
first,
in every scenario.
yes. My first key is, this is the first one that caught my eye, is Aconite, the Key of Rage.
I was hoping we'd have an evil character, because evil still exists and is technically aligned with existence.
Oh, I didn't think this was like evil. It just means like I got some rage.
No, I know, but
I've just got some anger issues. It's fine. I'm
Yeah.
working on it. I'm
That's
working
on it.
I just
We can shoe in evil characters. Don't worry.
if my character dies and we lose the entire concept of dreams or whatever that happens, I might make an evil character, because evil
And
characters.
you get the concept of nightmares. Boo.
I mean, you're playing someone that is basically a small child. You could turn evil at any point. You could
That's
Anakin
true.
Skywalker this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Anakin.
Suddenly,
took
you
out
meet
a
the
few
power of
kids.
sand, and everything goes bad for you.
Yeah. Anakin got his. I'm sure Anakin probably at least killed one person in that pod race.
Oh, for sure. He's a multi-year murderer.
He's a menace to society.
A menace to the galaxy. So, Key of Rage. Your life is shaped by a terrible, world-shaking hatred and fury. Is it your own, or are you a pawn to someone else's rage? The heart
Diet
of this
Coke?
key. Do you say Diet Coke?
Yeah. Do you rage against aspartame?
No, what are you talking about? I say it's my Diet Coke.
Oh, the Diet Coke fuels the rage.
I see.
Part of this key is named Rage, Hatred, or Fury, optionally with a name in front. Example, Devrika's Rage. If it is someone named Devrika whose hatred shapes you, I just put Rage as the heart.
Is it your rage or someone else's rage?
I think let's say my rage.
Okay.
The
stronger the
generic rage. Generic rage is at the heart of your rage.
Yeah.
The
The stronger
dimension.
the rage dimension, like portals to the punch dimension in my eye.
Yeah, but in your heart. There's a portal to the rage dimension in your heart.
The stronger the heart gets, the more elemental that fury. The top bullet point in the heart will summarize who you are in this drama, such as victim, hero, reformed monster, struggling for control, or trying to break free. The shadow of this key is named What Lets Me Oppose It. The stronger the shadow gets, the more resources you have to oppose the rage that drowns you. Leave the shadow circle empty for now. I'm not quite sure what to put for. So we get a blank top bullet point, and then
Yeah, basically, I'm the reason I'm giving you the blank top bullet point is so you can personalize the key a little bit more to your concept.
okay.
It's just we consider it a tag thing. Like you can put some important thing in there that powers that concept of the key.
I'm
the heart
leaving
of the
mine
key.
until after the rest is done.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that way you can go back in and be like, well, that doesn't quite fit right, but if I put this in, it all works. You know.
It's interesting that yours, it's like the good thing almost is the shadow, and the bad thing is the heart, where that's a bit backwards from the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends on your view of rage. I mean, there's righteous
There's
rage.
justified rage.
Absolutely.
Diet Coke is a scourge upon this earth.
Diet Coke fuels me. Fuels my rage.
And now the game will be about the Diet Coke debate.
And then I chose my second key. I was going to choose what was it? It's I think it's the second one you chose, Spencer. But I decided, I did another look and I went, oh, I'm gonna choose Wild Rose, key of something different.
Ooh, something about you isn't normal.
Yeah, like my rage.
Your rage.
Yeah,
That's a real circular logic on these keys.
Something about you isn't normal. Something doesn't belong. Do you have a love-hate relationship with the people around you, or are you desperate to belong? The heart of this key is named My Nature. You are different. You are not normal. The top bullet point is the heart. In the heart will summarize who you are compared to the others, such as an alien, a freak, an outsider, or superhuman. I think I'll just leave that blank for now, right? I can do that.
You can leave the top one blank and then toss something in that fits that list.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then shadow of this key is named My Struggles. The stronger the shadow, the more you want to fit in. The harder you work to find yourself a place in the world. Write the following 2 phrases in the shadow circle: self-doubt and trying to fit in.
There's a lot of self-doubt being opposed upon my perfect godlike figure.
Yeah.
Like,
the Hollyhock one also has self-doubt. Yeah, I can see this.
Wild Rose seems to be the key of masks. Like,
yes.
that is...
Ooh, yeah.
And it really is. So, one way or another, you can decide how you're
Do you
different.
have an aluminum shell? Is that why you're different?
No, I'm not
Vaguely
recyclable.
cylindrical.
Shut up.
I was thinking a Kool-Aid Man equivalent.
I was going to say, we could get weirder. We could be like, he's a 2-dimensional being in a 3-dimensional world, but that's...
No. We do Pepsi Man, and when we pull out the Pepsi Man commercials, when it...
Pepsi Man!
Okay, so I'm gonna...
Pepsi Man would have some rage.
I'll put an outsider as part of the nature.
Just saw the comic book opening for that. Arthur Pepsiman.
And then for, I guess, my rage one, I'll put I love a reformed monster story, so I'm gonna do that.
There you go.
You used to be Pepsi Man.
I used to be
retired.
Pepsi Man.
Yeah, retired supervillain or something.
I was tired of asking, is Pepsi okay? Never again. We're gonna buy KFC and Taco Bell, and then it's no longer is Pepsi okay.
The patron power of waitstaff. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got your shadows and hearts all in order so far?
Yep.
I believe so.
All right. So we move on to what's called foundations. On page 134, there's a table labeled "More Than Anything Else, You Are." It contains 4 categories that complete the sentence, basically. These categories are something cool, in love with something, epic, human, and powerful, and just plain weird. The left column is a list of keys associated with the categories. We'll refer to each category and its associated keys as a row. So find the row associated with your key. Keys. Yes. If the row fits your concept of who you are, write a bullet point in the associated key's heart that reflects your chosen foundation. If the category of your key does not fit your concept, feel free to choose a different one. However, doing this strengthens the shadow of one of your keys, and you must write a bullet point in one of the shadows instead of a heart. So this is where having a concept beforehand becomes a bit integral to the whole thing, unless you just want to strengthen hearts the entire time, which could leave you with empty shadows, just so you know.
So, do we pick... This is adding 1 bullet point somewhere?
This is adding 1 bullet point to each set of heart and keys. So so for example, if you were, let me get back to the stupid thing. If you were Lotus Flower, you would be in the something cool category, and you would add a bullet point about being cool, being something cool.
To the Lotus Heart.
Yes, to the Lotus Heart.
My recommendation is to pick which one you want first and then look on the left side after to see which it aligns with.
Probably a better idea.
Recommendation is the opposite. So...
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it probably is a good idea. Do you want to be something cool, in love with something, epic, human, and powerful, or just plain weird? If that happens to match your key, it strengthens your heart. If it doesn't, it strengthens your shadow.
That makes more sense that we do this once, correct?
You do that for each key.
So we do this
I
twice.
actually didn't know that. We did that for each key. Okay.
Oh, we do it for... Oh. Well,
all right.
There's my first misunderstanding of the game's rules.
So,
but that might be my first misunderstanding of the game's rules, but I'm pretty sure Yes, in the example, they use both.
Okay.
So.
Perfect.
So they do something cool and something else?
Yeah, they do, in the example, they do epic, inhuman, and powerful. And...
Yeah, but they chose just to strengthen the shadow, I thought.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to go that way. I choose that. Actually, yeah, in the example I'm seeing, they only choose once. They consider epic, inhuman, and powerful, and then decide instead to go with something cool.
Oh, so they do. Okay, so yeah, it is just one. You are correct. Sorry, I was looking at the estate one, and they defined them both, and then they were like, "No, I don't want to do either of those. I'll go with something else entirely." Okay.
Right. Well, I have
So
mine.
yes, it is one.
Okay. I think I've got it. Oh, wait. Did I just put that in the wrong spot? Oh, interesting.
So yeah, if anybody wants to outline their choice on this one.
Gonna go, you have yours?
Yeah, so I did the Minimalist one for just plain weird. I'm perfectly caffeinated.
What can you define that?
I'm as caffeinated as appropriate for any given situation.
Okay.
Perfect.
By meticulous self-dosing, I am perfectly caffeinated.
You're constantly microdosing caffeine to keep you on that even keel.
Yeah, perfectly caffeinated.
I love that as is appropriate is so possibly variable.
Well,
I'm
it's
pretty
not
sure
that
that this is an appropriate
if you're
level of
wired
coffee.
at 7 in the morning when you're supposed to be asleep, you're not perfectly caffeinated. You are inappropriately caffeinated for the scenario.
I chose In Love with Something, and I chose A Life Lived Free for what I'm in love with. And so I added to my heart under Star of Bethlehem, since that's associated with it, and added Forever Childlike as my next bullet point.
I chose something cool, larger than life, and connected it to the heart of Oak there, and believes in the goodness of people intrinsically. Just always. I'm sure that won't bite me at all.
Also, we're going to have to talk about defining people once we get into character, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think in that case, since there's only one option no one's taken, I'll just do that, because that fits.
That seems like the best choice. Epic, inhuman, and powerful.
Yeah.
For the rage monster? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
why not?
Tired Pepsi man.
Listen, I'm just a dude.
Yeah, you're totally not like a Tarrasque
Who
in disguise.
used to be a Pepsi man.
I'm not 4 kobolds in a trench coat. It's not.
Would that be powerful? Would incredibly powerful before kobolds in a trench coat?
I think it would just be inhuman because they would be in fact kobold.
I almost want this to kind of linked to my rage, right?
Would seem so, yes.
I almost want it to sort of be like. So it says a
idea.
force. Go on.
My terrible idea is that, like in many games beforehand, you're some kind of lycanthrope.
Oh no! Do I want to be a lycanthrope person again? Do I?
You could be like the god of lycanthropy if you don't have an idea in mind already.
No, my idea was I want to it kind of works because I just want to summon all the previous characters I played, and a lot of them have another guy sort of
Fair.
Oh, can I make it like a I want to say like a persona, there's Bruce Wayne and Batman, right?
Or
what's
in
the word
Persona,
for that?
where they put a mask on and they summon their...
I've never played Persona.
And they summon
every
their
Persona game is slightly different.
You put on a mask and you summon a dude behind you who has powers.
Yeah.
And you have a gun.
I want to do that. So what's like
I
a
don't know
word
if
for
it's
that?
a presenter, but is that something like a stand?
Yes, you basically summon a stand in Persona, and you spend the whole game collecting new stands and smashing them together.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Digimon, but with like alter
but
egos.
except one
But
of the
JoJo's
stands is
Pokemon.
entirely made of dicks.
Yeah, we are aware of that one.
A wiener stand.
Yeah. Oh, and Beelzebub wears jorts. Best stand, whole game. Beelzebub and
Is he
jorts.
John Cena?
Anyways,
in Persona 3, his throne is so low poly, it looks like he's in jorts on a toilet. But that's just because of the low poly throne that he's on. But it's a really good image.
Was that PS Vita or 3DS or what?
That was Persona 3.
Yeah, I don't know what console it came out on.
I think it was PSP.
Oh.
Can I just put in my heart like the other guy? Like I don't know exactly.
The other guy is epic, inhuman, and powerful.
Yeah,
that's perfect. So
yeah,
there's so you got like a Mr. Hyde thing going on, you know.
Yeah,
you could even
like
just call it Mr. Hyde, like that.
But he's in your soul.
He's in my heart. I would like to know. I said I want to play myself in this game. I do not have range.
You don't have an
my interpretation of that was
heart?
you were yourself until you got imbued with weird godly power.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna put quote unquote the other guy because I love those kind of characters.
I do. Stop Holding Back is my favorite move from City of Mist for that reason.
That is
doesn't
really
fit
good
the
move.
rest of the game, but it's a great move.
It doesn't fit the rest of the game in that it's way more comic book than noir.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game does a better job of meshing those two. But comic book characters frequently stop holding back at only plot important moments.
Yeah. Wolf Among Us does that exact thing, for example, right at the end.
So do I just add that thing to my heart? Do I add anything else?
At just that point.
Just that.
Got it.
Cool.
All right.
We're on to the estate.
Yes, your estate. An estate is the thing you become the power over. You are not the power over it yet, but it will get there. It's the thing that is given unto you to rule and exemplify, to define and to be forever and ever, or until your dying day. You are, I guess, married to it by these words. So on page 136 and 137 are two more tables that follow the same format as foundations. The titles of these tables form the beginning of a sentence, and the categories complete it. Pick one option from each of the two tables. Same rules apply. If you pick one that matches your keys, it strengthens the heart. If it doesn't, it strengthens the shadow.
Where do we put these down?
Or...
So you just naming the estate is not important here. But this sort of flavors your estate. So the first one is your estate is from the, and then it says light side of human experience, dark side of human experience, beautiful side of the world, or painful side of the world. So it sort of gives flavor to how you interpret your estate.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like to be the dark side of human experience first.
I'm picking light side of human experience.
I'm painful side.
Though mine can flip either way.
I think so. I did not note things.
And then, do we add a thing?
Oh,
to
did you
heart
pick
again?
them? Did you answer the questions?
What do you mean answer? What now?
I mean, I thought Jordan was going first with your estate is from the your estate is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so your estate is from the dark side of human experience, and then what do I do from there? Do I add another thing to my heart?
Yeah, if you're attaching it to Aconite, yes.
Can I attach it to Wild Rose?
You could, yes. Forgot that was your second one. So one of the jumping off points is the questions at the end, like what kinds of things do you like the least about humans or the human world, or what's something you think is okay but have enough moral questions or qualms about to convincingly paint as bad?
Ooh. I like the idea of like the dark side of human experience, quote unquote, for Wild Rose. Is just like I imagine this person's like always sort of like not like bored, but like the normal world is like boring, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
always like head in the clouds, right? I'm not sure if that's a good thing for that or how to phrase that to fit better.
So is it sort of like an early Shikamaru thing where he's just like, I just can't be bothered to participate in this nonsense, or like everything's just troublesome,
No, I
or
think
is it
more
like,
wishing that things were more exciting, right? Like the normal world's more mundane. He just wants things to be more exciting.
okay, um, you could put something in that just says, you know, normal life is too boring. Like works very well. These don't have to be like one word things.
Yeah.
Okay.
If these are going into the shadow, are we more supposed to be answering the questions or connecting it to like the heart of the shadow points up there?
So connecting it to the heart of the shadow is a question of whether or not it's a part of the key.
So yeah, it's a shadow for me. It's not a part of the key. So I know
Okay.
I'm putting a bullet point in there and then filling it in. Is the thing I'm filling in answering these questions, or should it be related to the
It's a
word of that?
yeah, the bullet point itself can be anything as long as it fits the statement of where your state is from. The questions at the bottom are just something to like get the ball rolling if you don't have an idea.
Okay, so it doesn't
That's kind of
specifically have
it.
to answer the questions below.
Correct. So if
That's
you've got something that fits, put in the thing that fits, because it's more about this matching your concept than it is about any specific word that you're reading here.
I guess the challenge is I'm looking at the light side of human experience, and it's
Mhm.
so that doesn't fit either of them. So it would go into the shadow, but the shadows are both very, very dark things, and
Mhm.
it's the light side of human experience. So I'm trying to figure out how
What
does
what are your shadows named?
why I doubt and crisis, and it's supposed to be something that is
Like what kinds of things you like best about living in about humans or living in a human world, or things about that.
yeah.
Brightly painted vision of human future. So you could twist it a little bit and be like, what? How to best describe that? What prevents that key, like that shadow, or this is what I hate about this game. It's so damn metaphorical. Trying to figure out how to best describe it. Basically, because the shadow is a thing that prevents you from achieving the heart, like it's an obstacle to the heart.
Hmm.
Make the bullet point something that fits that role.
Okay, so it's
So it's in the way of realizing the light side of human experience or something. You know what I mean?
It could be something that you do like or enjoy from the light side of human experience that maybe you don't want to, and that could make it some kind of shadow of oak with crisis.
yeah.
Or
I
your
have something
crisis could
I
be
had.
something like too much of a good thing.
Mm.
My
You know,
crisis, I had a crisis under oak for this of it's impossible to be good enough. But I'm realizing I'm not sure if that connects well with the light side of human experience.
I mean, the
it does
drive
because
for the inability to approach like the infinite void between doing something and perfection is the shadow of your experience with the light side of humanity. You're striving for perfection. You can never reach it because it's an impossible goal.
That works for me as well. Yeah,
Mm.
that fits
Okay.
from my perspective.
I find it just challenging when it's the metaphorical of okay, I need to take something from the light side and put it in a shadow. How? What? But okay, if it seems to be working for people, I hopefully did that right.
Yep.
Yeah, and this entire exercise is just meant for you to be able to have a steady foundation for the personality of this character you're putting together. So as long as that goal is fulfilled at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I get they're not actually pick lists, but I really liked the more or less pick lists for some of these. So I grabbed for the painful side of the world for minimalist fangs. What is the face of the natural world that you fear the most? What part has given you the most pain? And it's fangs. And it's fangs. So that's in the heart.
Wild savagery and that kind of thing.
No, pointy teeth.
Specifically
pointy teeth.
Sweet. There's going to be a vampire arc.
Yeah, no, I'm an overworked, perfectly caffeinated vampire. Like, that's... I'm the midnight barista who's here to help, but is kind of upset about being there.
So are you saying that you have fangs, then?
Yeah, it's in the heart of my key.
It's in the heart of your keys, the fangs.
Yeah, fangs.
The fangs that you have, not the fangs that someone else has.
Yeah, it's my fangs.
I love the idea.
Why I wander around is that I'm a fangs.
I love the idea of like an ancient vampire that just works at like a Starbucks and has to move every so often to work at
it. That's the concept. I'm always around to help, but not always there because
oh my god.
Illegal.
I forgot that the Star of Bethlehem specifically had a unique third thing that you add to it, the mystery. Which is like what happened that changed you, basically. So for me, I just wrote, I don't remember.
That was amnesia.
I don't remember what happened to me. Yep. But I chose, your state is from the light side of human experience, and that linked with chamomile. So under the dream, I put optimistic to a fault.
Yeah.
There you go.
And now it's your estate is?
Yep.
Yeah, so what are the actual estates we're working with here? Like, what is everyone's estate?
Change.
And this is not a bullet point. This is the estate box.
This is the estate box.
Yeah. Mine's dreams.
The power of dreams, the power of change.
Yep.
Power of
coffee.
Java? I don't
know.
Energy.
Unnoticed assistance.
Ooh, I wanted mine to be like stories or something.
Yeah, that works.
The Legend of Pepsi Max.
The Legend.
And Kid Crystal.
I like how all of us have chosen like these esoteric. This is a thing.
Large scale. We're gonna have to nail these down later. That's part of characterization. Probably next session.
Unfulfilling work.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is my estate.
I love that.
That's awful, but great.
It's too real. It's too close to home.
Yeah, right?
It's, I don't know, one of the categories is something you live.
I'm the power of wage cuck.
Yeah. I need
exploited labor.
Exploited labor. That feels more something I can actually do a thing with, as opposed to something I can point to.
Okay, so now that you know what your estates are, is it something you can point to, something you live, or something you can describe?
Something I live.
Mine was hard.
And does that make it a bullet point?
It connects to either heart or shadow.
Yep. Mine was difficult because dreams are something that's kind of all three. But I went with something you can describe because I think it's more than specifically experiences while unconscious. It's also like the other definitions of the word dream. So I went with that.
Yeah, I'm kind of between something you live and something you describe because it's like things you feel, right? That's what I'm picking up on in something you live, but something you describe is like it has poetry in there, so that's why I'm also leaning that way.
Yeah, the most literal one would be describe, I think.
Okay.
Do we write our estate at the top of the estate box? Is that a thing we have
Or
to do?
in the estate.
Like right in the estate box, I believe.
hmm
And I'm sorry,
that-
I missed Jordan and Indigo's estates. What are you two?
Oh, unfulfilling work.
Oh, you're.
I just I did stories.
Okay, right.
So because that doesn't align with my keys, do I have to put a shadow somewhere?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. I
Yeah, so I put a crisis of menial labor down.
That's interesting.
And this can be some bullet point from your past, right? Like, for example, for your shadow for stories, it could be something that some story that affected you negatively, like or gave you a drive to do something self-destructive.
Looking at the instructions for estate, it's not clear. This is on page top of page 135. It looks like if either of the choices are associated with both of your keys, it strengthens both hearts. It says it strengthens the heart of those keys. It does use the word heart singularly, but it says those keys. Otherwise, it strengthens the shadow of one key.
It's fine. We'll just keep it at 1 for now.
Yeah.
And now it's our origins.
I think I'm gonna put my shadow in my what lets me oppose it because I feel like stories is like an outlet to rage, right? I feel like that's kind of
Yeah,
how I
there you go.
fit the negative. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you
I'll
have
say
one where it's where the shadow is actually technically a positive in some
yeah.
ways.
I'll just say a healthy outlet is what the shadow is.
Actually, that one
With
was there.
something you live, I put that in the heart of Clematis, and it's not exactly positive, but the something you live is friendships die. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
I'm
right.
still putting in my last one. Because I chose something you describe, which links to both of mine. So if I pick one of them, then I will go with the heart for Star of Bethlehem, and I think I'm going to pick Alone because that is what it made me.
Okay. So origins, page 138. So this is about your past as a person. Did you live a troubled life, a humble life, a blessed life, or an extraordinary life?
And we get a bullet point for this one?
Yep.
Okay.
They match to keys and I do like the advice of answer the question and then figure out whether or not it corresponds to your keys. That's a more truthful way of doing it.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I decided to choose a humble life. So your destiny was ordinary. You're going to live, steadily grow older until something more or less random happened to you, and you died. Instead, unexpectedly, you became a power. So that's my first choice. It is not linked with either of my two keys, so I'm going to add a shadow to one of them. Chamomile is empty for shadows, so I'm going to add Pain is Boring as my first one.
I am also going to go with Humble Life there, which matches up with Oak. And so for the heart, I'm going to put down Humanly Valuable.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going for Blessed Life. For Sexy Vampire.
All right.
Yep. That
And that's a crisis. Because it doesn't match any of my things. And it fits better in crisis as to why it feels empty.
Yes. It's your blessed life is actually cursed because you are a sexy vampire.
Yep.
Damn these good looks.
Yep.
I
Chiseled
think I'm
8-pack means nothing.
I think I'm also gonna pick Humble Life, and I'm gonna make that a shadow of rage again. Because like, what do you have to be mad about, dummy? Like,
You're an angry suburban
I'm just an
middle
angsty
class
teen.
white kid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to my chem, you know,
Yeah.
banging my head.
All right. So based on the answer to that question, people with humble lives go to page 140. People with blessed lives go to page 141. And humble lives, what's the legacy of your humble life? Love of the ordinary, alienation. I feel like we have one for that already. Transformation or freedom. And blessed lives, reverence and purpose, community, your way of life, or anger. So basically, what is the effect that your life has had on you? What did it inflict upon you?
I think I'm gonna go with love for the ordinary for me. That's part of already who my character is.
You're sort of a down to earth person. Just
Not down to
you
earth,
like.
but he's constantly amazed by what people would and interested in what people would consider mundane. The same things that Jordan's character would be bored by, my character would constantly bombard with questions.
Mm.
That's linked to Star of Bethlehem. So that's another thing for my heart. So I'm gonna add another what it made me. And I'm sorry, Zen, but what I'm choosing is haunted by a sibling ghost.
Okay.
For a reason that I don't remember.
For my humble life, I'm gonna go with transformation there. It's this much change is just kind of hard to get your mind around when there's something when you're just used to being normal there. And so that actually fits in with the heart clematis, and I'm going to put down living things grow.
The legacy of my blessed life is caffeinated thralls as a community.
Mm.
You allow people to sup upon your perfectly caffeinated blood.
Nope.
And they become enthralled to you.
Nope. It's that no one can pull a better espresso shot. So I have loyal regulars that move along with me to different coffee shops.
Like they know you're a vampire, but they just are like, man,
They don't
make
care
that
anymore.
awesome.
They
They
don't
make
care.
the best espresso
Yeah.
I've ever
No one
had.
else can do it.
They only get it through hundreds of years of experience.
Yeah. I'm switching my. I'm going to save my haunted by sibling ghost for the contact section. I'm switching my thing to interested in everything.
I'm stuck between alienation would give me a heart, but I really think like freedom fits more.
I was going to
Go with what
freedom,
fits.
but I realized that freedom was a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out. what shadow I put it in.
What are your shadows named?
What lets me oppose it being my rage, and then my struggles versus my nature of Wild Rose.
I probably go with the first one, but that's just my feeling on it.
What lets me oppose it?
Yeah, like getting away from that like normal life nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It both allows you to be the angry monster and frees you from the morality of what an angry monster is from the other people, you know?
Mm-hmm. So I'll put in my shadow getting away from it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Perhaps you seek, you know, a solitary existence just away from the nonsense and doing the things you like to do.
Oh my god, I'm playing emo Jordan. I'm playing 13-year-old me. That's what's happening here.
All I will say is that characters do not stay as their normal selves through the character creation process of Nobilis. They become
No.
like fey folk version of themselves, where things are kind of twisted into a personality that is reminiscent of, but more extreme.
I was also trying to create myself in character creation, and I still am, but it's because you've got so few touch points, you kind of take those, are relating them to your keys and blowing that aspect way out of proportion.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with a caricature, definitely.
One of the things that's been really interesting, though, is there's a lot of really fun, hard questions to ask yourself about, okay, who am I? And I'm really curious to play myself and then put myself into a situation that is so out there that what on earth is what are you doing anymore? How much will this change? I say, being the estate of change.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
There's a sidebar about, hey, were you sort of human? And I feel like sexy vampire falls into sort of human. What do I do about that?
If you're this kind of person, you're still basically human, it says. Choosing to be something like this strengthens the heart of the listed keys. Or
Oh, I want to be basically human. We're not going to worry about it then.
Okay.
All right. So contacts. Pretty much the same situation, but the contacts are important associations in your life. These are people that are self-motivated and vital to who you are and how you do things.
Now I'm adding that ghost I mentioned, because that is quite. It actually says that is usually a literal ghost, though it could be something else. I'm gonna go with literal ghost for me.
Yeah, so you could have an organization or followers, as one of us has already previously defined. An excrucian could be a friend of yours.
That's my second choice.
An inspirational friend or lover, a nemesis, a corrupting influence, or a ghost.
There's a few choices on the next page, too.
Oh, the next page, too. Oh, yeah. Kimura, legacy. So a Kimura is it's a part of that of a part of the Nobilis structural organization. It's basically like how Lord Entropy, who is the current ruler of the nobles, interacts with the mortal world. From a human perspective, you might look at it as like the Illuminati. Legacy, true love, aliens, a manufactured army, faraway or troubled love, award, mortal friends and family, disciples.
Ooh. Disciples is tempting, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm between.
Looks like this is where I stopped the pre-made character creation. I have to actually on the spot.
Fair enough. So for this one, choose one or two important contacts in your life. So you can choose two of these if you're torn. If the contact matches your keys, draw a circle near the heart. Write the name of the contact, the NPC or the organization, in that circle. Put a bullet point, outside the circle. Put a bullet point in the circle that says how they've changed your life. And then draw a line from the new circle to the heart that's connecting it. Add a bullet point with the contact's name inside the connected heart. If your contact does not match your keys, draw a circle near one of your shadows and do exactly the same thing. Write the name of the contact outside the circle, put a bullet point in the circle saying how they changed your life, draw a line from the new circle to the shadow, and add a bullet point with the contact's name inside the shadow.
I'm picking 2 because I'm torn between 2. And why have just a nemesis or just aliens when I can have both?
Yes.
I'm also going for a nemesis, and it's a. Can it be a whole company?
Something powerful enough to stand against you, but not so powerful as to overwhelm you without effort. So yes, a mortal organization against a power. Yeah.
Does anyone have a good name for a knockoff Dunkin' Donuts?
I don't know.
Rick's
My brain went
Rolls.
slurping.
Dip
Knockoff
cakes.
Dip cakes and coffee. Yeah.
Powder keg.
Dip cakes,
Meaning
coffee
like
co.
sugar powder.
And here's where playing yourself makes life really difficult. Not bringing real people into this game.
Oh, I was just gonna go there.
Well, my oak is mortal friends and family, and I'm like, I'm good to bring them in, but I'm not good to create them myself.
Understand that I will be portraying an ANPCs and I have no idea who these people are. So
Exactly. Which is why I'm like, can I just say mortal friends and family, you create them, they're my friends and family, ta-da.
seems like offloading the work onto the guy, but sure.
It does, and if you like, I will put more thought into that.
Yeah.
See what I can do here.
Yeah, my nemesis is Dip Cakes Coffee, and it causes a crisis of morning coffee culture.
Yeah, just make sure you've put a bullet point in the circle saying how they've changed your life when you define these things.
Culture is how they've changed my life and affected me negatively.
Okay.
Those sons of bitches.
So nemesis. Can it be another person who is
in your heart?
No. Can the nemesis be another person who is like Nobilis, right?
Oh yeah.
Noble? Yep.
Yeah, a power. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, a power is a noble.
Oh, got it. Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna say
a power is a noble like you. It's not an imperator.
Mm-hmm.
So.
My sister.
And what we're putting in the bubble is how they have changed your
life. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in the side bubble is how they changed your life and their name in your heart or shadow bubble.
Need an exclusion name.
Oh, they're weird. You want an actual one?
You're the one portraying it, so I don't have any preference for their name.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Where'd he go?
I have contact. I'm doing 2.
Textrix the Deacon.
Perfect.
And then I have a question for aliens. Can my aliens just be characters I've created?
For aliens, you have a coterie of the strangest sort, a hodgepodge of freaks, aliens, degenerates, mysteries, and possibly even creatures from outside the universe entirely.
Is it just your multiverse other characters?
Yes.
Is those your aliens?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that works.
Nice. You're to look at Ein and tell me he's not a degenerate.
Yeah, what
These are
immediately
contacts. So this is just you calling yourself.
Yeah.
what immediately jumped to mind when I read that description for some reason was juggalos.
I just can't help but think of Spider-Verse.
No. I'm imagining Ein and the cat I played for Call of Cthulhu pointing at each other.
Yep.
All right. So once we have all of your contacts nailed down,
I have one more contact. I don't have a good name for him, but it's Vampire Sire. It's Fang Daddy, however we want to describe him. Is the person that made me into a vampire is a far away or troubled love. That's a complicated relationship.
that's fair.
And then for the aliens, what do I put in the circle? Just like what they are?
How they changed your life.
Oh, how they changed your life. Got it. Okay.
Yep. I'm doing less specific events and more general, this is what my life is like now, because they're around.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do specific events if you want to.
I made this really sad. How they changed my life. I made my own friends.
Wow.
My two contacts are reminds me what I've lost and helps me forget. So I'm not doing much better.
I put a coffee company and Fang Daddy down, so don't have
Fang Daddy down.
I don't have a better name.
For mortal friends and family, I put down forced moving on, and then I chose a second one of legacy, which is a shadow and mistrustful.
Sweet. All right. Affiliation. So sometimes it feels like there's an order to events, a great big cosmic harmony, a music playing through the universe that causes everything to dance in time. The sky, the soul, the movement of the planets, the growth of crops. Sometimes it seems like there's a pattern to it all. And if you can just let go of your ego and move in tune with it, then life and love and joy just fall right into place. Sometimes it seems that way. But nobilisers know that isn't true. There isn't one great order to events. There are 5, all playing off against one another. And the moment you become a noble, you know them, you taste them, you feel them, and you can choose of which one you would like to partake. So there are a list of songs that you can align yourself with. The Song of Heaven, Hell, the Light, the Dark, the Wild, or an independent song. You're basically choosing your alignment here.
What I found
have my
really interesting
choice.
was that they weren't as obviously aligned in that way when you read the second paragraph. Does this also create bullet points in It Doesn't Match? Congratulations.
Um,
I believe it does. Oh, it doesn't in
Actually,
the description. It does in the example. That's what I
Yeah.
what I found.
This is the one.
Yeah. So
Yep,
it
this is the
does.
one.
So we get a bullet point for affiliation.
Yep.
Yep.
And where does that live?
Shadow if it's
either-
not connected, and Heart if it is to one of your two keys.
Yep.
And it's just the name of the song?
Yep, Heaven, Hell, the Light, the Dark, the Wild, or independent.
Yeah,
It can be any. The bullet point can be anything that aligns you with your chosen thing. Or you can just say, "I'm aligned with the Song of Hell." That's fine.
Yeah, Song of Hell.
as long as you realize what that means.
It
to
is so
love this
metal.
fallen world. Things are bad and that's okay. Is really my whole reading of that. It's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's cool.
It's
trying to do
taking
otherwise
things
is bad.
it's taking things at face value. Like the things that are just are, and that's the way they're supposed to be.
And further acceptance is better than the rejection that is offered by a false heaven. That's appears to be the concept.
And I'm going straight to the heaven of we can always make things better, and that's what we should be doing.
Yep.
That is an opinion of someone who has not lived for thousands of years behind a coffee counter.
And
very much so.
I'm going with the Song of the Wild, which adds a bullet to my shadow, which I'm going to go with slip free of all shackles. My character cannot stand whatever he views as restrictions.
Your character in a coma cannot stand restrictions.
Oh yeah, no, he loves where he is now because he's free. We'll get to it.
Not anymore. You're awake and in a weird god body.
We'll get to it.
I think I'm also as metal as it would be to listen to the Song of Hell. I gotta do Song of the Wild because it makes more sense. I think.
Fine. I will be the sole corrupting caffeinated force of this, I guess.
And I think I'll put that as it'd go in my heart of my nature. I feel like it's just sort of like kind of similar, like make my own friends, like make my own world, like something like that. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reject your reality and substitute my own.
I will literally put that. I reject your.
God, we're gonna have a lot of conflict, and it's mostly between me and everyone else, it seems, where I just want things to be normal, and everyone else wants to make their own better worlds.
Sorry, we're not all vampires.
Yeah, I mean, life is good for vampires. Why change it? And everyone else is like, I'm not a vampire. This shit needs to change.
Would you like to become a vampire? You could become a vampire.
This isn't even life is good for a vampire.
It's
just that Dusty is at this point accepted the way things are and feels like, why are we changing this? It's going.
All right. So if everyone has their song all mattered out, final touches.
What does it all mean?
Yeah, your final avatar diagram is a project, a vehicle for destiny expenditures. When things happen in play that bear on this story you started with, that project gains destiny. When it accumulates enough power, or when you spend destiny on your own to push it forward, you can take advantage of everything you've written there to shape the moving forward of your avatar's life and myth. You can, in short, build forward from this diagram to empower and develop your avatar over the course of the game. This can be abstract and personal, or it can give you extra traits and accomplish things that need accomplishing. That'll come down, in the end, to what matters to you. You can also pick up to 2 of the circles to represent ongoing conceptual, mental, or moral struggles in your character's life. Write appropriate questions next to those circles. Wrestling with those questions in play will give your avatar destiny to work with, ultimately increasing their power and the breadth of your influence in the world. So that's something you can reflect on and basically write questions in between sessions. I don't think we'll be advancing it today.
Okay, so it's like, pick up bubble, write a question about it.
Yeah, I have some written, but I think I'll stew on them a bit more.
So to boil that down, take this mind map you just made and figure out a character arc that you'd like to proceed on. Write questions that will forward your character arc.
Yep.
Thank you for the boiled down version.
Yep.
That's helpful.
Final touches. Draw a line between any 2 circles that have the same name or a shared bullet point.
You could even do shared bullet points.
It can happen. Name your character if you haven't, and add any circles that don't have a name yet. Fill in any bullet points that you've left empty. Think about your estate some more, what it means, what it is, what the best word for it might be. Make it fit nicely together with your character as a whole, and then you're there.
Cool.
So pick 1 or 2 circles to give us like a character arc, like how we want those to sort of.
So we've been doing it the entire time as we've been like talking about the concepts and stuff. You realize that there are certain like avenues that trajectories that your character can go down. If you want to define those as questions and ways to advance your avatar, you can.
Okay.
I have one in mind for my. I think this will be heart. So right now I'm gonna put in as a question in brackets at the very bottom. Can I untether myself from my body? Like, can I just exist without it completely? So that's one I'll do. I'll think on the other one.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do one. I'll put it connected to my rage. The question is, will my rage ever subside? Is it ever enough? Question mark.
Oh, I have where am I going? For the one and only question I figured out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's connected to, but why is goodness so hard?
Yeah,
It costs 9 points.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. Advancement.
Divine economy.
Project fulfilled.
And then we want
me
to fill in
destiny.
the blanks we had, right?
Yeah, any blanks you had, you can go back and fill in. You can do that now, or as you come to understand the reason for this thing. Now that we have a thing going forward.
Okay.
All right. So that is your avatar creation. Now we need to get into some numbers. Actual character sheets.
Yay.
Woo!
Numbers. It's number time.
All right, so you each have character sheets. There are no good character sheets that were form fillable, so I just sort of made them.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll find a better solution for that, but for right now, these will work.
What do you mean no one put the hours in for this esoteric game to develop a character sheet?
Right. So everyone starts with 5 of 5 will. I'll get to what that is in a minute. Yeah, write your name, your estate, your keys, and you have 5 will. Then we go to passion, skills, and superior attributes. Passions and skills are, well, I'll just read the thing. They're mortal tools to find happiness, fulfill their destiny, and earn the respect of their peers. This is your starting place. This is how you worked when you were immortal, what you did. They're not as important to a power, but you're not powers yet. A power's mortal destiny is gone, blah, blah, blah. We don't need that. So to build your mortal self, divide 8 points between passions and skills. Passions are written as sentences. Each describes an idea, ideal, dream, drive, or attachment that works for you. Something that helps you live your mortal life. Something that helped your avatar find happiness, peace, success, a place, a hope, or back in their mortal days. You should give more points to more important and more functional passions. Skills are written as short sentence fragments, usually 1 to 7 words. Each describes a skill set or way of life that you spent a long time practicing. The better you are with that skill, the more points you should assign to it. You have 8 points total. However, you can only put 5 in any single passion or skill. 5 is the cap for. If you run out of points before you've written down all the passions and skills you know your character has, you can have extra passions and skills at 0 or even negative for passions that hurt you and skills you're terrible at. They won't help you any, and you won't get any points back for negative, but at least you know you're there. At least you'll know they're there.
You don't get points back for a negative?
You do not.
And it's 8 points.
8 points total. So, for example, the author of this game wrote down what her passions and skills would be. Her passion, I think that these people are basically good, is at a 3. I want to get Nobilis back into print at a 0. I want to finish Hither Be Dragons as a 1. I want to find love as a 1. Skill writer as 3, and skill dancer at -1.
Perfect. I've added mine.
What do you got?
Skill play at 2. Skill plead at 2. Skill joke at 1. Skill math at -1. Passion, I really want to spend time with my friends, 1. I love spending time with friends, is actually what I reworded it to. And passion, everyone should be nice to each other at 2.
Okay. I've got 8. Well, not 8. I have the points in. I have the skill organizer at 3, writer at 1, tactical thinking and sword fighting both at 0. 3 passions. I want to achieve balance in life at 1. I want to make your day better at 2, and I want to foster community at.
Nicely done.
Now we'll go back to frantically filling an empty.
All right,
This is
cool.
hard.
I have mine.
Mm-hmm.
I have skill perfect cup at 4.
Excellent.
I have skill cold read at 1. I have skill walking in the sun at -3. I have passion perpetual existence at 2. And passion helping others at 1.
Okay.
Well, at least a lot of us seem to want to help others. We're a very cooperative party.
The only thing I know for
Then we
I
get
help
the
sure.
others
rage
be
monster.
better. I just want to help them continue.
Listen, I put the only skill for sure I know he has is anger management at -1.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of what.
I mean, from what you've been describing so far, a passion of escaping the mundane at least a 2, I feel, is warranted.
Ooh, I'm also gonna put skill murder.
Okay, so a total of 8. So what's a 0 mean exactly? Just like it's
So
there, but it doesn't have anything?
yeah, basically you'll be able to focus will into it to get it higher. So basically what you do with passions and skills is there's a task that needs to be accomplished. You find a way for your passion or skill to interact with that task, and that sets what's called an intention. All right. So if you have a passion for helping others and there's an opportunity to help someone, you automatically have an intention at the rating of that passion. You can add
Okay.
will to increase that rating in chunks. All right. So you have did I say why do I have 5 on here? You're supposed to have 8 points of will.
Yeah.
Okay, change
Okay,
that.
8.
Is it 8 of 8 or 0 of 8?
8 of 8.
Well, now it's 0 of 8 because we just spent it all.
Yeah.
Oh.
So 8. No, it's 8 of 8.
Okay.
So over the course of the day, character can spend will in chunks of 1, 2, 4, or 8 to add to their intention.
Okay.
It's easy to spend 1 will. It's reasonable to spend 2. Spending 4 or 8 is really hard, and if you do it too long or too often, it can actually affect your health levels. It can hurt you.
Hmm.
yes.
I put a skill of creativity at 3.
Mhm.
So I have 3 more points to spend. I feel like I need another passion.
Being the min-maxer that I am, and I think most of you seized on this, there's at least one social-oriented type skill or passion that you have. That'd probably be a good idea.
Can I have a passion that is I am always right?
That would work.
Yes.
You could also
Yeah,
have a
that would work.
skill for like role-playing games.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm always right at 1, and then skill role-playing games at 2, so I could be done with it.
There you go.
Ta-da!
I added murder at 0. It felt like a good one to just have in my back pocket.
Yeah, you've tried it before. You're not amazing at it, but you have
Yeah.
you're an amateur murderer.
Amateur murderer.
Perfect.
All right, I'm adding another passion at 0 then.
Is it also murder?
No, it is pink.
Oh, passion for pink at 0?
Yes.
Good, nice.
Ooh, wait,
So-
hold on. Now I want to put a passion for wearing black at 0.
I'm adding a passion for candy.
So if any of you want to deduct any points from some of those ratings, there are 2 other things that we can buy with these points.
Oh.
They're called Cool and Shine. Cool is competence, focus, and unflappability. It's a skill penalty against someone using an intention against you.
Ooh.
That's defensive.
I'm gonna put points in cool.
So a mundane action against you is basically your cool is subtracted from the rating of the mundane action against you. Shine is leadership, glory, and influence. You can use it to inspire others. In particular, anytime a mortal wants to do things for you, to serve you, to honor you, or to implement your orders or agenda, and assuming you're okay with it, they can draw upon your shine. So you basically increase their intention by the rating of your shine. So it's a buffing
So
others.
shine is
thing.
health and cool is defense.
I put 2 in cool because that feels very appropriate, that mortals can't do things to me unless they spend alarming amounts of points.
Yep. And remember that cool and shine only interact with mortals. This is not a miraculous thing. This is just for non-nobles.
Feel like I should keep cool and shine at 0 because I'm still just a fucking teenage dickhead.
I'm gonna
That
put
seems
1 in
reasonable.
shine.
Not cool, not shiny.
No.
When you become nobles, we will be able to go back and change a bunch of the ratings and stuff, because there are other things that will come into play.
I'm gonna put 1 into shine, but as a kid, I don't think I would be very cool. I would be extremely flappable.
Yeah.
Okay. That is basically all we need. I do have to just touch on something called edge. Edge is like a skill penalty. It's like cool. It's a skill penalty, but it's sort of narratively focused. If you are ever in a situation where you are obviously outgunning someone else, you have an edge rating that just increases your intention because you are totally prepared for the situation. The reverse is also true. If you get ambushed and screwed, they have edge over you.
I like the page on there that's like +0. You're basically equivalent. +1. Your tennis racket and shoes are awesome, and theirs are falling apart, assuming you're playing tennis. And then your opponent has mistakenly brought a knife to a global thermonuclear annihilation fight.
Yep. No, the writing style's great.
Yeah. All right. So nobody went with any magic or weirdness, which I find great because that just complicates nonsense. You could have been sorcerers and whatnot. That's just a pain in the ass right now.
Vampire.
Vampire's relatively mundane.
Yeah, and vampire we'll get to when we have points to spend in inherent superiority.
Yes, I would like all of my inherent superiority points. Like, I don't need any specific vampire powers. I just want to be passively better at like anything compared to a human.
We'll get there. All right. So now you have everything you need to interact with the next steps in our scenario.
Do you want to take a 5-minute
Yeah.
break here?
Yeah, let's take a break here, and
This feels
we'll
like a
come back.
natural break point.
Yep.
We'll be back in a few minutes. There we go. We are back with part 2 of episode 1 of Shifting Narratives, which we now have as our name. Playing Nobilis. So we did character creation before.
Yep. So you have created your avatars. You know sort of who you are. Now let's find out where you're going.
So weird way to phrase that for character creation.
Give it a sec.
So, as you finally come to the realization of who you are, you also come to the realization that you're awake. And you're not the only one. The 3 others are sitting next to you on a wrought iron bench. You're in a park of some kind. Transition here. Though you don't recognize exactly where this park might be, it's a brisk autumn day. A heavy wet fog permeates the air. The bench is situated on a cement walkway that leads off to the left and right. Next to you is a small pond with some ducks and geese swimming across it. The only other 2 people you notice are a small elderly woman and a tall 20-something man. For reference, here's the man. Here's the woman.
Pictures will not be on stream this week. Next week.
It's true. So yeah,
I'm seeing some real species discrimination here. I didn't see portraits for the geese.
The geese are in charge. They're supervising.
Yes. The woman is wearing a loose black turtleneck sweater and black slacks. She has large silver rings on each hand, and silver earrings dangle from her ears. Her hair is swept up in a dome-like bouffant, and her eyes are slightly obscured behind large tinted glasses. She looks at you all on the bench and says, "Oi, finally, I was beginning to think all this mischigas was for nothing. Come on, let's get you moving, you 4. Walk and talk. It's good for you." And it's at that point she looks at the 4th member of your group that is still on the bench and unconscious. She turns to the man and says, "Oi, what is all this? I thought you said it was fine, that they'd wake up, no problem." He walks over to her and leans down to whisper into her ear, and the other 3 of you catch a couple of words, one of which you distinctly hear as comatose. The elderly woman looks a little surprised, looks back at Merriweather, and walks over to the unconscious form on the bench, spits into her hand, rubs them together, and deftly open palm punches the unconscious form in the middle of his chest.
Whoa.
I've
seen a sternum punch before.
There is a loud whoo from the body of your comrade as behind it, streaming out, comes the ethereal form, looking much like the body, floating in the air.
Unlike...
Exactly like Doctor Strange.
Except, unlike Doctor Strange, the body that the form came out of was kind of a bit very thin. Looks like he's in his late 30s and in hospital slacks. And the form that came out of him is a 7-year-old-ish boy, like wearing overalls and with like one of those haircuts that the kid probably hates but the mother thinks is adorable, even though he's 7, which is starting to be too old for that.
This Dennis the Menace is floating in midair behind this body.
Yes.
Yep. The boy kind of blinks and like recovers and looks around in the park and then sees the old lady and he says, "Hi." He looks kind of not nervous, but he doesn't know what's going on.
The woman turns to the now correctly assembled 4 of you and says, well, now that that's taken care of, and we'll be talking about that later, won't we? And she gives the man a stern look. Let's go. The blonde man standing next to her begins to walk stiffly, like motioning for all of you to proceed in front of him. He's wearing a 3-piece pinstripe suit with a stiff-collared white shirt with a red tie. There's a small pink hydrangea bloom resting in his lapel, and an expertly folded black pocket square peeks from his breast pocket. You follow a gold chain from his vest into his pocket, where he reaches in and pulls out a pocket watch. Looks at you all and says, "Oh, we are quite behind schedule. Mustn't dally. There's destiny afoot." So they begin like herding you deeper into the park. As you begin walking, the woman talks without turning back to look at you and says, "So to answer your first question, my name is Evelyn Carter, charmed, I'm sure. And this bright young man over here is Merriweather James." Merriweather gives you all a curt nod. And now it's a little bit of a walk to where we're going. So if you'd like to introduce yourselves, talk to each other, whatever, now's the time. I know you have plenty of questions about how you got here and where the fuck we are right now. But trust me on this, you'll know more than you ever wanted to by the time we're done. So at this point, describe your characters. What are we seeing?
So Dusty is tall-ish. Tall side of normal, but not like non-humanly normal. Fashionably close crop to longer fade haircut, vaguely wavy mop, and then the ever so trendy, artfully baggy sweatshirt over like nice-ish pants and city boots. They're reasonably pale, someone who works the night shift, and they have an umbrella, just like a black umbrella. It's not raining, it's just daytime.
Anyone else wish to describe their character?
I already sort of described Derek. He follows along in the back, kind of, again, looking around at everything. He looks back, I think, briefly at what at his body on the bench, but he doesn't seem to realize that it is his body. What he says is, is that he's sleeping, right? We're just gonna leave that man there?
Oh, sweetie, don't worry about it. He'll be fine.
Okay. He just like completely immediately trusts what she says and says, "Okay."
I think JJ is wearing a very similar like black kind of like ratty zip up hoodie. He's got a shaved head and like Harry Potter looking glasses. I'm just describing me when I was 13. So change the glasses and shape the head, and that's what I look like. Kind of pudgy.
A hoodie is far too unfashionable for Dusty. It's a better jacket. It's a better sweatshirt.
Oh, I think also at that he probably has around his neck probably like headphones. And he's just sort of like, what is happening? But he's like going along because he's like, listen, I'm either dreaming or something else is fucked up here, but whatever. We'll see where this goes.
All right. Well, I wanted to play a game in which I was me, so my description is me.
Shorten to the point.
Yeah. I think that Elizabeth in this case is probably walking a little bit further away from everyone else, given that she does not know them, especially as there's a person with a parasol and a small child, and she's not that fond of small children.
A small child ghost.
Yeah, a ghost,
Am I
small
still
child.
transparent?
That's up to you.
I'll go with if you really pay attention. Yeah, like 90% opacity.
Also, we just saw someone like punch the small child out, and she's not quite sure what. I'm not quite sure what I think about that kind of violence.
Do you introduce yourselves to each other as you walk? Do you take Evelyn's advice and talk amongst yourselves?
I think Derek would eventually wander over to Elizabeth and say, like sort of seeing that she's the furthest away, and say, "Hi, I'm Derek. What's your name?"
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. Nice to meet you. And
Nice to meet you
kinda
too.
look back over shoulder at the body again.
Yep. Yeah. He doesn't.
Do
He
you know how we got here?
No. Just woke up here. What about you? How did you get here?
Same thing. Do either of you two know how we got here?
She said we'll know later. It's fine.
I think the ghost child's right. They're gonna tell us.
This is a weird dream.
Then I guess. What are your names? Hi.
Hello.
You're tall.
You could call me JJ, Ghost Child. And
Right, that's a good idea. What is your name? Gesturing down at the small
I'm
child.
Derek. I told you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, and then I'm Dusty. And we're really falling behind the spirit punch old lady.
Want to race? And then he just runs before anyone answers.
I start speed walking because I will not fall behind.
I do not speed up.
I put myself at the back of the group because that is what I do all the time.
But there's JJ just kicking rocks as he's like wandering behind.
Perfect.
All right.
I think
Derek probably
I'm going to be playing like a dark version of 13-year-old
Yeah. 13-year-old you during a bad day
13-year-old
when he
you
then
with
got god
access
powers
to your
during
own
a god.
multiverse.
Yeah. Derek assumes that the two people walking are the finish line, so just like runs up till he passes them and then stops and then jumps like, "Yeah, I win!" Oh, come, you guys weren't even playing.
I don't think gravity affects the ghost.
I mean, isn't it good that you won anyways?
It's not fair. He starts sulking.
What did I eat? What is this dream?
Next time, maybe you should give us a little bit more heads up when you're going to play a game.
So after your walking introductions, you've been walking for a little while, and you notice you finally take a look around, and you notice that the park you've been walking through has faded away, becoming dark and featureless amongst the fog. You're not exactly sure when it started, but looking back, all you see are faint gray impressions of trees, lampposts, and grassy hills. At this point, Merriweather plucks the hydrangea from his lapel and hands it to Evelyn, who crushes it in her very small fist. As she opens her hand, a brilliant and painful glow washes over all of you. It's not much, but here's my gift to you for coming this far. Consider it a sort of consolation prize for getting ripped around in reality. It's called the Gift of Tongues. It'll let you speak, read, and write most any language in creation. And it means you will definitely understand me when I tell you the whole crazy truth.
Does that include spelling?
That is useful.
Like,
I-
does that mean I get, like, top marks on spelling tests in the future?
Oh, honey, you're going to be able to do way more than that.
Sweet.
Does that count for fictional languages?
Yes,
Like Mandalorian?
JJ. Yeah, yes, you know Elvish, Orcish, and everything in between. You fucking nerd.
Do I
Alright,
have
cool
to
dream.
accept it? There's plenty
Um,
of things in creation I'd rather not know.
Well, I'm unfortunately there, Dusty. You're gonna have to know a lot more than just this.
That's deeply unfortunate.
Now, listen, all you gather around here because I got something very important to explain.
As we get close, Derek leans over to JJ and says, I think Elvish is cool.
I think being a ghost is cool.
Why do you...
Small Victorian ghost child.
Yeah.
I don't know what YouTube, what YouTube video I watched before I fell asleep. This is very weird, but I'm just here for it, you know.
Well, I think Derek is about to say something more before I assume Evelyn interrupts him.
Yeah, Evan like snaps her fingers like an impatient mother, getting your attention and says, now, the first thing you have to understand is that all that stuff you ever heard about heaven, hell, gods, demons, spirits, parallel dimensions, magic, and weird science, yeah, all of that is pretty much true on a basic level. Humans have layered a bunch of needless language and belief on top of it, but the basic ideas of these things actually exist. So open your minds to the mystic world, or to the mythic world, my lovely little friends, because it's about to get metaphysical. And as she,
Strange.
to emphasize the metaphysical, Evelyn begins like gyrating her hips and arms, and the bracelets begin to jangle. Secondly, all of creation is shepherded by incredibly powerful spirit beings called imperatas. An imperata, not to mince words, it's a quasi-divine embodiment of aspects of reality. It's not a hard concept to understand. They come in all shapes and sizes. Some are angels, some are 250-mile-long serpents. Some of their forms are so alien I couldn't even begin to describe them to you. Now, these imperators, they aren't like people, but they are people-like. They have personalities, wants, and desires, just like you. But they can be quite different from anyone you've ever met before. And trust me, you're gonna meet a couple.
Derek raises his hand.
Yes, little boy.
Firstly, I am so sorry, but he says, do they have to use the bathroom?
That's an interesting question. You know what? I'll have to ask. Thinking about it, there aren't many toilets. I don't know. I honestly never thought to ask.
Thank you.
What are you?
Me?
Hey, he raised his hand
Personally?
first. You have to raise
I'm
your
sorry.
hand. No,
Child
she's
sounds
actually
voice.
talking. He's talking to Elizabeth, saying like, "Don't ask a question without raising your hand."
Yes, JJ. I believe you were next.
She could go first. That's okay.
What are you?
I'm Evelyn Carter. I've explained that.
That's very nice to meet you, but then why are you telling us all about these imperial things, and what are you in the scale of that?
In the scheme of things, I'm what you might call plumber.
Like Mario.
Like Ratchet and Clank?
Like when things are
think
broken
either
and
of
not
those
working
two
quite
ever
right, I
fixed the
fix
toilet.
them.
So yes.
Okay.
JJ?
So parallel dimensions are a thing.
Oh yeah.
So does that mean like Star Wars is real and like Marvel is real, like in a different dimension.
It's entirely possible.
Badass. All right, this is a cool dream. Let's keep going.
All right, anyway. These imperators, they're responsible for the aspects of the reality they embody. They hold dominion over it, protect it. In essence, they are it. Have I lost you yet? No? Do you need a minute?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Get-
autistic.
get-
You lost
you got me locked
a
in.
while ago, but keep going.
Good. Now, that what I've told you is all the good news. Merriweather, tell him about the bad news.
Oh, so you're good cop, he's bad cop.
Merriweather looks a little nonplussed and a little taken aback by that, and steps forward and says, well, I'm afraid it appears to be my duty to inform you that the Imperators are at war. They're fighting against enemies from outside of what we'd refer to as creation, all that is, the void beyond. These enemies come from outside the very bounds of what we'd consider reality. They're known as excrucians, and they seem to be solely motivated to destroy the Imperators. It's a rather unfortunate set of circumstances, really. Hold questions to the end, please. Because you see, if they do manage to destroy an Imperator, they also destroy the things that the Imperator embodies. So, for example, if you have an Imperator that is the essence of books, and an excrucian were to destroy this Imperator, there would no longer be books. There would never have been books. Books would cease to be as an idea. So you can see the conundrum, yes? If the excrucians win, then nothing can actually exist.
Has there been anything that's already been destroyed?
These adults just not raising their hands.
I don't think we know.
That is quite the problem. There are certain ways we can find that out, and yes, we have lost some in the fight. Yes, rather impatient middle.
So they're called excretions?
Excrucians.
Oh, excrucians. Sorry.
Like
Correct.
evolution.
Yes. It's always toilet humor with you humans.
I think we can talk without raising our hand.
There's a process to things. When you have questions, you raise your hand.
Yes, small one.
Why do they want to destroy everything?
That is a rather long conversation. They don't agree that reality should exist.
Why? Why?
But it does.
Perhaps you'll come across one day and be able to ask them.
Sorry, I smashed a mosquito that has somehow gotten in my office. Made a noise.
So are they like nihilists?
I don't think you finished that book.
No, I was an autistic 13-year-old. I did a lot of Googling.
Just read the book first. Don't ponder nihilism.
This is from a pre-Rick and Morty world, alright?
Fair. My character was in a coma for 30 years. He barely knows what Marvel is.
And here I'm relating it to the Discworld auditors.
Mm-hmm. Sort of, yeah. Merriweather continues. The Imperators have been very efficient with their defense thus far. They haven't sustained many losses, to answer your original question, since the initial incursion. However, recently an Imperator was gravely wounded during a particularly nasty conflict, and he's expected to pass any day now. Fortunately, Evelyn and I were prepared for this and enacted a cunning little scheme. We're going to ensure that the Imperator has a replacement. And that's where all of you come in, my fine friends. This process isn't something that just anyone can do. We had to find just the right people who had just the right marks of destiny to help shape this Imperator's replacement. That's you four. So, what do you say? Would you like to help in the birth of a god?
Sure.
Not really, but I'm sensing it doesn't matter.
Sounds fun.
What was this person the god of? Maybe it would be better if whatever it is gone?
Well, that would involve losing the concept of dreams, change, stories, and I'm sorry, what was the exact wording of your
unfulfilling work?
and unfulfilling work?
That is a brutal combination, by the way.
One of these things is
There's
not like the
one
other.
of these things is not like the
Yeah,
other.
You have these concepts of these like grand ideas and ambitions,
This
and then
feels like
not
something that was
reaching
slipped in
them.
at the end to like.
Yeah.
Like, this will never get passed as a god power unless we include it in a grab bag of good things.
Yep. This is the. I only have so many points left to spend for my powers, and I guess I'll take this cheap one.
So when a god dies, that concept never existed.
Correct. It rewrites reality around itself.
I see a few problems with those things stopping.
I mean, if we could get rid of unfulfilling work, that'd be great. But I
Yeah,
guess
no.
those other things are pretty good.
Unfortunately, it's part and parcel with the other three. That's why it exists.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Heavenly bureaucracy to the next level.
Wait, so it's dreams, stories, change, and unfulfilling work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this just the god of communism?
Isn't that usually our campaigns?
We'll
It's
get to
usually
this, maybe.
We just try to imagine a world without capitalism. Seems to be what normally happens.
We'll go find and kill the Imperador with capitalism.
We're gonna kill the money
capitalism.
guy. We could just start there.
Currency.
Yeah.
Let's go kill the god of currency. But then we'll only have Bitcoin.
But that wouldn't kill me, so we'd still have unfulfilling work
You're right.
without pay.
You're just not paying anymore.
And that is why we don't want any of them to die,
Oh,
because
God.
things usually somehow get worse, even when the
Mhm,
bad things die. Okay.
So, do you all agree to help Evelyn and Merryweather in their
This is just a
in their
dream. I'm gonna
task?
wake up anytime now. I don't normally have dreams, but you know what? This is pretty chill.
Yes,
Is there a
this
way
seems
to
like a pretty
pick
bad
which
thing.
one you get?
Though, how exactly do we need to help? What
How do
have
we
to
help? That's a
do?
good.
That's a good question. So Evelyn reaches behind her back and pulls out a small box. She opens it, and you see inside 7 spheres. She says,
Anyhow, sorry.
She says, now these 7 glass spheres here are basically the building blocks of an imperator. We need you to go out amongst the world and empower these 7 spheres with pieces of reality.
Would you mind explaining that in a different way again, please?
So each sphere is sort of connected to a concept, a vague idea behind how things work. This, for example, and she picks up the sapphire sphere, is the sphere of heaven. It absorbs justice. To power this sphere, you must seek out justice being done and take it.
What happens to the justice?
Within reality, that justice will not only be miscarried, but it will ensure that no one involved will ever have the justice they deserve.
Is there like a scale of things? Like, do we have to find the biggest form of justice, or can we like get justice for like bullies who like zap ants?
Any part of reality will do. These decisions are yours to make.
You want to? God.
This seems hard.
We'd be stealing justice? What are the other ones?
There you go.
Oh.
The ruby sphere of hell absorbs injustice. Find something unjust, take it, and it will become impossible for it not to feel the repercussions of its karma. The diamond sphere of light absorbs life. Not only will it prevent someone from being born, but it will make it so that the place in the universe that life would have occupied will never be filled. The onyx sphere of the dark absorbs death. Take this, and something shall live eternally, denied forever the right to pass on. The amber sphere of the wild absorbs freedom. Whatever you take this from can never be free in any sense of the word. The emerald sphere of the serpents absorbs stability. With this stolen, something or someone becomes undecided, unstable, in constant flux. And the golden sphere of the true gods absorbs existence itself. Gone. Not just now, but so it had forever been, as if it never existed. Take care with this one.
So we
These
have
all
to
seem
save
like-
existence in order to save an imperator to save existence.
We gotta be the bad
I think
guy?
this is just a mini one. Like, one bite out
Like-
of a sandwich.
You want to take
Yeah,
down
basically you have to the task before you is to seek out specific instances where you can absorb justice, injustice, life, death, freedom, stability, and existence. The scale of what you absorb is entirely up to you. And at the end, you will use this to create your imperator.
These all kind of feel like bad things to do.
We can ask.
We're sort of beyond morals at this point. When the very balance of reality is being tipped, a couple of eggs being broken, you know.
I guess, yeah, bad stuff happens if we don't do it.
Is there any other way to make this work? Have you looked into any other ways? Or even
What
thought
if-
about them?
Merriweather and I have spent an awful long time trying to figure this out. This is the best we could do.
What if, hypothetically, I just threw all 7 into an Applebee's?
Oh, that would get a lot. You would get a lot with Applebee's. I saw that movie Talladega Nights. Applebee's is like hell.
People die there. People feel free with the Dollaritas. You could just do it all at once.
Mhm. But then, where's Ricky Bobby gonna go in his movie?
Well, not that
Chili's?
Applebee's
No.
anymore. There's other Applebee's.
No, you would remove Applebee's from existence.
Question: if we use something like life to make someone exist forever, and then use can we use an orb? Can we use 2 orbs on the same thing?
Ooh, ruin someone's day.
Make them live forever and then absorb the injustice from them?
And then their freedom, and then their sanity.
On the inside of my head, I'm
So-
like, that's probably how excursions are created.
So Merriweather is at your disposal to get you wherever you need to go. But the creative control over what you're absorbing lies with you.
Oh, this is right now.
Oh,
So you define the situation.
Oh,
I
Oh,
raise my
okay.
hand and I say, I'd like to remove the existence of homework. Ever.
you know what? They do that in Sweden.
Is that good? You know what?
Homework.
I think that's good.
Is that what we're
Alright.
using the gold sphere on?
it's
I would
already
like.
been done. It's been done.
I would. Can we agree? Can we use the ruby sphere on cops and just make them feel like all of their karma?
Oh, if homework's too big, because that seems too big, can I absorb the existence of homework in my school?
Like, how
Homework
granular
at
can we
Red Herring
get?
High or Red Herring
Like I said,
Elementary.
you
Yeah.
have creative control to define what you're absorbing.
I do think that
handing
homework itself
that
would
over
be
to
a
you.
power, not a single orb thing. So I think like homework in my school is probably what Derek would go for removing the existence of.
I like the idea of injustice and just all cops.
All cops now feel their karma.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I would like to do something with the onyx sphere. And I would like to find one specific rat and just ruin its life.
No, what?
Instead
Okay.
of rat, can we pick a dandelion?
I was gonna say a
Oh.
mosquito that can't be slapped or crushed.
No, it's
Oh.
a rat. There's the immortal rat now. There is the rat of eternity. The rat between the worlds that doesn't die.
This is Jordan talking. This is gonna get real dark. Can we use the onyx sphere on my cat?
Nope.
Why do you want to kill your cat? Derek says
No!
in character.
No, it
makes
will
it not
live
die.
forever. It will
Oh.
take death
Yeah.
away from the cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
he mixed it up.
Nope. Something should not live longer than a year will now live for eternity. I have a friend now. I'm taking the rat with me.
Well, why do you get a random rat? Why can't?
Because you used the red one first.
I
think-
used the red one for a good thing.
I think he's
yeah,
right.
and I know the cost of this one.
We each
So
use
I will
one
be using it
now.
as I please.
But now, how do we use the other 3?
Wait, hold on. I made cops go fuck themselves.
Well, you
used the
haven't done it
gold
yet.
one.
But
Oh,
yeah.
we're discussing.
Yeah, you're discussing a plan of action. Yeah.
You're using the gold one on homework in your school.
Homework at the elementary school.
All right,
Yep.
that's fine. You're using the onyx one to have a rat friend. Why not do a cat?
Nope.
Why is it gotta be a rat?
I decided.
All right, and then what about you, lady?
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've never met an Elizabeth in my life. I don't know why I made you up in this dream. This is weird. What one do you want to use?
I'll take the sapphire one, and we can argue over the others.
Okay.
Okay, so who wants to go first? You just have to tell Meriwether where you need to go.
Can we go to my school?
Are we all going, or are we like splitting up like Scooby Doo?
I think everyone should go. Probably.
Okay. Oh, so we can see the repercussions of our actions.
I
Mhm.
like the idea of doing this one first. It's a test case. And
Yeah.
we'll have a better idea of what we're doing with the
The-
rest of these.
Maybe perhaps the most innocuous. So you're using the golden sphere of the true gods. I'm assuming.
My intent was to
this-
use the golden sphere of the true gods to
Yes,
erase
this is what-
homework at specifically my school. Except, not
It
that
never
Derek knows
existed.
this, but it's been 30 years since he's been to that school.
Hmm. All right. So where's Derek from?
I don't know the states very well, so I'm gonna say he's from Canada.
Okay.
That's not a state.
You could be from China. It doesn't matter.
That's
Just
true.
North Dakota's basically Canada.
Except
Fair.
no one lives there.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's basically Canada.
Sure, let's go with North Dakota. But
Okay.
I think he's from a small suburban town that's like an hour or 2 drive out of a city. Like, not very
just North
large,
Dakota.
not very small. If I'm describing North Dakota, that's perfect.
It's
Yeah.
basically
Most
North
of North
Dakota.
Dakota.
Yeah.
probably wouldn't even have to drive an hour, but yeah.
No.
Okay. So you arrive quickly and somewhat disorientingly outside of a small 2-story what's the word I'm looking for? It was a school built like during the Great Depression when they started, all the public works projects. So it's a very utilitarian government type building.
Yeah. Very like brutalist almost.
Mm,
Oh, it just missed the American Imperial style.
Yep.
Just missed it.
and
It looks more like a prison than a school.
Yeah.
and you arrive outside of one of the windows to a I'm guessing second grade class. You said 8, yeah, second grade class. Just as the teacher is telling the groaning children about the 3 pages of math homework that they will have to do this evening.
Perfect.
And Derek, you are standing there with the golden sphere of the true gods in your hand.
Excellent. So I think the first thing Derek does is he notices things are different. Because this isn't how he remembers his classroom. He's like, this isn't my class. They all have
There's
like...
a whiteboard there instead of a chalkboard now, and yeah.
Well, some of the kids are probably on like... Smartphones wouldn't be allowed, and they're like 8, but still a couple
Probably
of them
like
would probably have it.
iPads.
But I think there'd be class iPads or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, they have TV?
If you aren't going to do whatever you're doing with that orb now, you're...
Oh, no,
going to-
no, I can. He doesn't know what he like isn't sure how to use it, so he's just gonna throw it through the window into the classroom and see if that works.
Vandalism!
As you throw it in the air, it starts. And right before it impacts the glass, the sphere stops and zips behind you and buries itself into the ground.
I think it didn't like that.
There is a rumbling like an earthquake behind you as the ground begins to swell and move up into a somewhat mountainous form. You notice that the passers-by and everything don't seem to react to any of this. But standing
Exactly like they would
behind
do in a
you
dream.
is this man.
Oh, Treebeard.
And
Treebeard's been working out.
Probably 60 feet tall, being made of mountains, stone, and trees. And it slowly leans down till its face is even with the small form of Derek.
So, lies on the ground.
Hi! Yeah, like loudly calls.
Hello, tiny human. I am Gen, still in Fruitful Mountain,
I'm Derek.
Northeast Gatekeeper. Why have you summoned me?
Oh. I wanted my school to never do homework, and for homework at my school to go away forever.
Never have existed.
Like as it begins laughing, there is a torrent of wind that just blows past you. And he stands up and says, you wish me to remove this thing from existence. This is no small ask. Are you sure?
This is like the part of the game where it's like, if you move on from this point, you can't go back.
Yeah, a pop-up shows up. Yeah. Derek does actually take a second to think. And says, I guess homework wasn't all bad. Can you remove all bad teachers? No, bullies.
No, let's stick with the homework there.
Stick with this homework in
Derek?
this school.
Yeah, let's
You won't
listen.
be removing the learning, but homework you won't get anymore. That sounds like a great
In
idea,
this
right?
Is
school.
homework?
Yeah.
Okay.
Homework. Yeah, homework's bullshit.
In that school.
In this school. Yeah. You know, it's like a case study.
Yes, homework in this school. Then.
I am not pleased with having to do this, but...
Do you like homework?
It is not so much the homework, child. It is the deletion.
Well, I thought we had to do that.
Some things we have to do are not necessarily easily done.
Well,
Derek just stares like he doesn't quite get what he means by that.
excuse me, Jen? Will you come with the rest of these spheres?
No. Your Your spheres are connected to other powers, imperators,
Oh.
that will aid you.
And
I am one of the true gods.
true God. And what exactly is that, if you don't mind?
Do you have a church?
You're not Jesus.
We are the lands, the wind, the sky, and the rain.
Oh, so you're like
Sort of the
God.
animist type, like
Yeah.
nature stuff, you know.
Cool.
Thanks.
Sky is pretty.
I'll tell her you said so.
Ooh.
So I guess
Now.
if you'll erase homework from this school specifically for us, please?
Very well.
Thank you.
And you're really gonna have to study for those tests, though. That's gonna fuck your grade if you mess those up.
Derek doesn't know any better.
Yeah, tests are still there. Homework's not.
No.
It's
Rough.
fine. We didn't erase learning.
Yeah.
Teachers are just gonna have to step up the game.
Listen, when we get to the dealing with the cops, it's gonna go so bad.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
Yep.
It's gonna be so good, but so bad.
Oh man.
Yeah. So Gen spreads his hands, and a giant storm cloud coalesces between them and wafts over the school, drenching it in a downpour.
I get under Dusty's umbrella.
As you look inside, the teacher goes from explaining from page 57 to page 62, blah, blah, blah. Odd-numbered questions are due. Have a nice weekend, children. Enjoy your spare time.
Derek is just like, yes.
This was a great use of this erase anything from existence thing. I'm gonna be so sad when I wake up and have to do my own.
Oh, I hope I'm not dreaming. Or you're not dreaming. I hope we're not dreaming.
Gen looks down at you all and says, "One choice has been made. I fear the others may not be as pleasant." And begins receding back into the ground with the shaking of the earth. Once everything is back level, the golden sphere is now on the ground glowing.
Derek picks it up. And then he considers going to the next school to do the exact same thing.
You want to go to my school next?
Yeah. But
Alright.
he is a bit in over his head still to be too mischievous yet.
Merriweather looks at you all and says, well, 1 down, 6 to go.
Right, who wants to go next? Oh, I see your mouth moving, but there's nothing happening to go.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
now everyone is. Reality's
Gen-
already falling apart
Yeah.
after
Oh,
just
no.
homework.
What do you mean? There's only ever been 4 of us on this show. What are you talking about?
Yep. Turns out Indigo was created out of homework at that school.
Indigo was specifically homework at this North Dakota made-up school.
All right. Well, in the meanwhile, do we want to do someone else's orb then? Since
You know what? Do we just want to bite the bullet and deal with the demon that's going to come out of this sphere? Do we want to do that?
Indigo's on his way back. He had to restart.
okay. So we'll be back in a couple minutes.
So,
I don't have a better
yeah,
camera
we can-
setup, but yeah, we can. Stream is gonna look
we
weird.
can-
That's fine.
And we can roll into the next one if someone has an idea of the place they would like to affect,
Yeah.
possibly very terribly.
Let's go to. So Merriweather, I have a question.
Yes?
because the multiverse is real, right?
Yes.
Do I have to go somewhere from my universe, or can I go anywhere in the multiverse to like do the orbs?
He half smiles and says, "All of creation is at your disposal, JJ."
Take us to Gotham City.
Yeah, he grabs out his pocket watch and flips it open. There's a blinding light, and suddenly you're in a very gloomy alley.
Which version of Gotham City is this? Like, which one did you have in mind?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not it's an
It's
amalgamation
the
of like
idea of
the
Gotham
George
City.
Clooney one, the animated series one, like it's everything combined.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're standing there in the, it looks like it just rained. There's puddles and water and reflecting the lights of the buildings around you.
I knew I could lucid dream. This is awesome.
Several cop cars go racing by, and you could swear you saw something swing among the buildings, but you're not quite sure.
I'll take the red spear and I guess I'll just throw it at Gotham City PD.
Wow, you just fucked this place. Okay.
I don't have to deal with the consequences of my own actions because this
The
is
whole
a dream.
genre of the like when we go back to our world, the genre of the Batman comics will change because of this.
No, it's because it takes out the injustice. Oh my god, Batman won't exist because there's no injustice in Gotham City.
Well,
That's
there's
what's gonna
no
happen.
is this
There's no
injustice
police
in general, or is
injustice.
this
No, well,
like did a cop kill Batman's parents?
no.
Okay, then I assume that would still
It
get
gets rid of the corrupt cops.
okay.
You just made Batman's job a little easier.
I did. I did a good thing.
So Batman is eternally beating on the corrupt cops. That's what happened. All right. So outside the GCPD, you just chuck the ruby sphere towards the building.
That's how the Victorian ghost child did it. I know you're not a Victorian ghost child. That's just how I'm interpreting you.
Perfect.
And the entire sphere erupts into a ball of flame, and as the flames subside, standing in front of you is this white-robed, dark-skinned, smoldering-eyed man.
Saruman.
He looks down at you specifically, JJ, and says, "You've brought me to an ugly place.
I mean, yeah, Gotham.
Feel like to be at home here."
Yeah, Gotham's
What
not
may
a
I
very
do for
fun
you?
place. Yeah, I just want corrupt cops and like shitty cops to feel all the bad karma, you know?
I can just lead to
Go wild.
He like looks around, very disinterested at most of the things he's seeing, and his eyes settle on the headquarters of the Gotham City Police Department. How did we get here?
I was hoping we'd say that in the first session.
And he says, that there.
Yeah,
That's your target.
The institution of the police, you know, like just make the bad cops feel all the bad things they do.
Everywhere, not just in this Gotham multiverse.
No, this is just the I said everywhere, but this is just like the culmination of it, you know?
Ah, you wish this to be the focal point.
Yes.
I like the way you think.
This is a rad dream, my guy.
You know, as ugly as this place is, there is a sort of, I guess, wonder to it. As dirty and dank as it might be, there is some beauty here. I find the world needs both, really.
I like your words, Magic Man.
Why is your chest glowing?
Just a bit of bling.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and he looks back at the building, raises his hands as flames erupt, doming over the building, coming to a focal point above it, and shooting out in many, many directions.
Some would say an infinite amount of directions.
As the flames subside, Father Eritron, the stagnant heptarch, looks back to you, says, "This thing is done, and the reaping of karma shall commence." Basically from all directions. I mean, this is Gotham City. You hear agonized screams echoing through alleys.
Excellent.
This might not have been the best place to do this.
Derek covers his ears and closes his eyes.
It seems.
Can we leave now?
Yeah, it's growing into a cacophony. There is. People are living through literal hell in Gotham City. It's not just a figure of speech anymore.
I made it real.
John Constantine is gonna have a crossover.
JJ just goes like, "Oh," and then like takes his earphones, puts them on his head, and then like you hear loud metal coming from his earphones to drown it out.
Merriweather sort of, it gets a chill up his spine as he looks towards all of you and says, "So that happened. Perhaps don't give him another one. This could get weird and bad."
Can I kind of like wave a hand in front of your face and mime just taking the headphones off?
Yes.
If you did this, you get to deal with it.
It's a dream. It's fine.
All right.
Well, where are we off to next?
To next spear, can I absorb my own justice?
Huh?
Sorry, you wish to use this on yourself?
I mean, I figure that way it'll hurt the least amount of people. And at least that way it's not somebody else who never gets it, and I can live with that, right? The only thing I'm not sure of is what exactly it would mean.
So for the sphere of heaven, you need to seek out justice being done. So you would need to be.
You would
I
need
mean-
to
Either-
be
either-
doing some justice or have justice done to
Or-
you.
Yeah, justice would be being carried out on you.
I mean, we're in Gotham. You could go find Batman.
Absorb
I mean, it's-
Batman's justice.
I mean, it actually fits the character. He will never have the justice he deserves.
I was gonna say Batman would miscarry justice and just be like the what's his name? Frank something was the artist for the angry
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller, yeah. But
Yeah, the
angry,
Dark Knight
extra,
stuff. Yeah,
extra angry, extra violent Batman that has no interest in justice at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be anything good.
It's a dream. It's fine.
Okay, in the off chance that this isn't just a dream. Do you see what I'm saying now?
No, I'm gonna wake up any moment.
Right.
We're
Okay.
good.
Derek walks up and pinches you.
There, can we take the justice of me not doing anything about being pinched?
That doesn't quite qualify. It requires the act of justice being served.
In which case, I will serve justice on Derek by scolding him.
I cover my ears.
Yep.
I close my eyes.
Derek, you should not have pinched me. That's not an appropriate
I can't hear
thing.
you.
It seems a small thing. Perhaps you had better talk to Mozanayim. Or Mozanayim.
I mean, Derek just got rid of homework at his fucking school.
Yeah, well, you don't have to doom someone to a life of injustice.
I think Derek has opened his eyes and ears by now, and he says, I think it's not a life of injustice. I think it's just a situation that will always be unjust. I should not know these words. But he does because of the spell it was cast. Like, he knows it, but he shouldn't.
Yeah, you understanding.
Yeah.
It's a genie in a bottle. You want it to affect the smallest thing possible because you know it's gonna go bad.
Why don't you wish for unlimited wishes?
No, you wish for another genie.
Uh,
But what you could do, assuming this is real and not a dream, which I find which is very unlikely, why don't you just take justice away from bad people? You know, like the bad people will, who do you not like?
Justice can always be free to continue doing bad things.
No. It's no, I have to.
Yeah.
What about ants? Like ants.
I think ants sound.
Ants are awesome. Do you even know how they work?
Do ants have feelings?
What about forest fires? Or a forest fire? Because that always happens because people throw cigars and cigarettes away. So what if we just have a forest fire and never catch the person who started it?
That sounds bad.
I mean,
Also, what about lightning?
Anyways, but we'd have to see the person lighting the forest fire, and then they never get.
Wait! I got an idea.
Oh.
Okay, you use it on people. The people who have to steal food to eat. They will never have justice put upon them because they shouldn't have to steal food to be able to eat. They'll never face justice.
You know what? I like that one. We're gonna go with one instance of someone stealing a loaf of bread.
We can do it. I know this story.
You don't steal a loaf of bread. You steal like a bag of rice, something more dense. I'm saying it's completely out of character.
There's a guy. We're in Gotham City. I used the Hell Sphere to make bad cops feel all the bad things, and Gotham's just screaming.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's the thing that happened. We ruined the DC universe.
Let's go to somewhere where one person is stealing a loaf of bread because they need to eat, and we will make it so they never receive justice for that theft.
Merriweather pops out his pocket watch, clicks it open. You find yourselves standing outside of a Piggly Wiggly in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
It's very specific.
I would have went to like Agrabah. I think that's where Aladdin's from.
Nope, Piggly Wiggly.
Yep. Just because I like saying the name.
No idea. Okay.
It's a grocery store.
Yeah, it's a. And as you're standing outside, you see someone inside who's arguing with one of the store managers, and they have like a bag of food that they're clutching like rather preciously. And the manager is arguing with them and yelling at one of the assistants behind him who's on the phone, and you can hear in the distance the police sirens on their way.
This is going to go so badly, and I chuck the spear, close my eyes, and try and ignore it.
There is a brilliant flash, and standing before you is a large winged angel. His features and presence are so imposing that in order to be able to actually act on anything here, like you can speak to him without much of an issue, but you're going to be completely useless unless you can put together a level 4 intention to get past the awe that this thing puts out to you. I am Mozanayam, holy embodiment of Libra. You called me to abscond justice.
I point at the person in the window and basically let them get the food free.
You are filled with mercy, an attitude of the weak. Justice should be carried out regardless. Why should I do this thing for you?
It has to not get carried out somewhere. And if it has to be done, let's do it as best we can.
All right, I'm gonna enter in some mechanics here. What do you got for skills and passions that can build you an intention?
Oh dear. Well, I mean, if we're min-maxing here, the highest thing I've got is organize. I don't feel that was a particularly organized choice. Oh, that's. I want to make your day better. I want to make.
What's the rating on that?
1.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. You can spend will to increase the intention rating, if you wish.
Okay.
In
Is
1,
helping a
2,
thing we
4,
can
or
do?
8.
Yeah.
For this, not yet. No.
Okay.
Okay, so without knowing like what bar I'm looking for, I'm going to just spend will to try and hit a point on the difficulty.
Yeah, basically, take a look at that difficulty chart. You're going to need at least a 4. You need to be effective.
Yeah, fair enough. 5 is not better. 6 does not matter.
You can only spend will in chunks of 1, 2, 4, or 8.
Here's a question: how do you get will back?
It refreshes based on certain things. If you rest long enough, for instance, or there's some other
Okay,
things.
so it's not a look, let's spend this all before the end of the session type thing.
Actually, end of the session, maybe. I got to look at that again. But yeah, up to you. You'll get it back pretty quickly.
Okay, well, let's not min-max this too much and say, good, I spend all 8 of my will on this one thing to make it possible. Actually, no, because 9 is so beautiful, I want to see... Yeah, no, I spend all 8 will again.
Okay. So, what does that look like as Elizabeth pours all of her will into telling a fucking angel to do the thing that I just told you to do?
Because it's level 9 difficulty. Because it's right.
Yeah, I'm telling an angel what's right. I think that as best you can, because it's probably hard to deal with like this angel, and you were saying, I think I square up to it as best I can, and I'm like, all right, so here's the argument, here's the situation, and I kind of lay it out like, we'd be losing X, Y, and Z. These things aren't expectable to lose. I mean, we could, without getting distracted on that.
So you almost have a PowerPoint presentation ready.
Yeah. It's like here's the going through of all of my answers and reasoning. And at the end, it's kind of do you agree to some degree? But at the same time, I'm like, and that's why I want this done. Please make it happen.
I'm going to characterize that a little bit in what everyone else is seeing, if you don't mind too much, because it is 8 will you're spending. The rest of you are sort of taken aback by the preparedness and utter conviction that is coming from Elizabeth.
Yep.
There seems to be some sort of underlying moral line that she's defining. And she is putting this forward with such a force of will that halfway through the presentation she's giving, she doesn't even notice the trickle of blood coming out of her nose and ear. Mark 1 wound to your normal health level. Just put in a thing that says
yeah, below the cool and shine is wound level on the
is your health levels. Yep.
Will down to 0. Wound level deadly 1. Sorry.
So you can put in like it's your normal health level. Let me make sure I'm
deadly 1 2, serious surface 1 2.
Surface 1.
Okay.
And you can mark it as
I guess.
Yeah, describe it however you will, just like drained or give it a tag of some kind, you know.
Let's go with exhausted.
There you go. So, arguing to the point of exhaustion, Elizabeth puts forth her argument, and Mozanayim regards her with a little bit more respect and says, I am sometimes pleasantly surprised with the conviction of mortals. Very well. And he unsheaths a flaming sword as he goes and stands in the road at the approaching police cars, waves it in the air, and delivers a slashing arc of fire that erases the cops.
This is some monkey's paw stuff right here.
You got it. I think I just cringe as that happens, but I'm exhausted. I'm standing as best I can, but it's a matter of just whatever is left is willpower keeping me up. That is not what I wanted, and kind of like you put the headphones on, I'm just gonna close my eyes now.
Derek comes over and pats you on the arm or wherever he can reach and says, "That was kind of scary."
Metal.
Wasn't exactly what I.
Dusty, you notice the person with the bag of groceries exit and haul ass away from the store with their food.
I didn't see anything.
Perfect. I think it's your turn now. Derek turns to Dusty.
All right. Take me to meet the last rat on a sinking ship.
All right. Merriweather pulls out his pocket watch again.
Oh, can it be the Titanic? Derek
Nope.
just says as soon as it comes into his head.
Right as he's clicking it, you notice a slight face change on Merriweather, and you pop back into reality, standing on the on the deck of a ship. You sort of have like little structures. You are standing on the upturned wall of a structure as the ship is going straight down into the water. There is a window, a porthole window that two of you are standing on.
Important question. Can we die while doing this?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, throw the orb. Throw the
Throw it
orb.
back!
I would like to reach down and grab our new furry friend.
Yeah. You notice that sort of on a little pipe that's sort of coming out of the wall is this rat that's just holding on for dear life.
Yeah. I like to gently remove him from the wall and reach for the box, which I'm assuming someone will put within arm's reach of me.
Derek realizes he can talk to to animals, apparently, because of the language thing before, so he says, "It's okay, we're here to help." He
Nothing about this is okay. What do you think this is?
Oh my god, we can understand animals. Like,
All of
just
this
stop
shit.
the
Wait,
And I
does
would
that
like
mean
to
we
grab.
the bugs? And, oh no. Let's
I'd
do
like
Oh,
to
this.
grab.
Anything that has a language, technically.
Yeah. I'd like to grab the onyx orb.
Mhm.
Say, take this, friend, and we can get out of it.
Oh, it's just like Harry Potter.
That's it. Great cost, but
Like
you know.
a cake? Actually, no,
It's
he
that or
precedes Harry
die.
Potter, so he says, "What's that?" Or "Who's that?"
As you use the orb, shadows from around you coalesce into the form of a human. It's like that.
Does he he roughly precedes Harry Potter.
The man turns to you, Dusty, and says, "Greetings. I am Menkal, Magister of Kata'al, Lord of Ruin. Why have you summoned me?"
So this rat can live.
A rat.
A rat?
He looks at the rat, looks back at you, looks at the rat. Very
The
well.
last piece of death on this wreckage. I'm going to remove it.
Please remove
I
it
will-
quickly so that we
I
are
will
not
do this thing for you, my friend. However, you must promise me one thing. You will see to it that this rat achieves its full potential, no matter the cost in its own safety or freedom.
Oh, he's coming with me. Yeah.
It is very important for all things to realize their true potential. By doing this, we are granting it to your diseased little friend there.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Yeah. He reaches down and pets the rat. And the rat seems a bit more healthy.
He's no longer dying of all of the things rats die of constantly.
We should maybe get off the sinking ship.
Yeah, could we go somewhere else now?
You
What do we got
vaguely
left?
hear violins playing.
We got life. You want to do life next? Who's up for life?
As a player, I want to check if everyone's okay if we try to kill Hitler.
I mean, it is the obvious answer.
The other
here.
thing is that technically, if I did some math, also my computer's acting weird. Oh well. Technically, if I did my ages right, no, my character would have never heard of 9/11. It would have been an equivalent from before 9/11.
Listen,
Oh.
there's more than one guy with that. There's more than one guy.
There's so many individuals. I don't think we should pick a specific historical figure for the life one.
Okay, I mean,
Or pick generic person.
Can we pick Mars?
like the planet.
Yeah.
You gonna kill a planet?
I mean,
I'm
it
down.
doesn't have
I mean,
life on it already.
I'm down. Let's do it.
What? That seems.
Oh, I think
And
we
I have an idea for that if you're gonna do it.
Any of us land on Mars, it's instant death.
Well,
that sounds like a
my
great
idea
plan.
was that Mars in our alternate universe is filled with life, and then we make it so it isn't, or something like that.
No, planet. No. This theory predisposes celestial bodies are alive, and we are killing this one.
Oh, that's worse.
Or you
Zen,
think-
what's
or-
your idea?
It was sort of along the same lines as you. Like, you would have been the reason that there is no life on Mars.
Let's do that.
That would be the reason there is no Mars.
I think that would have been the gold orb that we already used on homework.
No, we killed it. I want to kill a planet.
But a planet's not a living organism, technically.
This one is
God.
more-
It's-
I think
You're using
Zen
gods
is
to
the
do it.
Hollyhock god here.
Yeah.
We just
Now I'm
chuck it
thinking
into
about
space, 'cause
dinosaurs.
nothing lives
We could
in
kill
space.
dinosaurs.
Let's kill the dinosaurs.
Yeah, let's kill the
No, wait, but then dinosaurs wouldn't have existed, right?
No, it
like-
prevents someone from being born. So like all dinosaurs after this period or something like.
Let's kill a dinosaur.
It does make it so the place in the universe that life would have occupied will never be filled.
That's probably bad.
So
bad.
if you took out the guy that cured cancer, no one will ever cure cancer.
What about like, let's make the Dead Sea.
Wait, what if we take life from zombies?
But zombies aren't real.
Anything's real.
Okay.
I literally.
What
went to
about the
Gotham City.
guy?
So zombies are on the table, but Mars isn't.
I mean, we could also do Mars.
I'm still pro Mars.
We're still sinking on the ship.
Yes, they're still on the ship.
It took a few hours. It's fine. I
ask
think
Rat.
Derek is like, well, I already did homework.
Rat, what would you like to kill?
No, let's not listen to the rat.
No, the rat is
You-
not going to say in this decision. It is a little too important for that.
If I'm gonna be the one that decides, it's gonna be cats, because fuck them.
No, I like cats.
You get one. You get one cat.
No,
All right, the first cat.
no. I will throw you into this water, and you won't be able to die.
I'd pick again.
Throw
little
you
friend.
into the water, you little fan.
If you had a second choice of who to kill.
Bubonic plague carrying fuck.
Not anymore. He fixed that. Clean bit of health.
Second choice. What's your second choice?
Second.
Derek's thinking to himself.
Can we visit the guy that invented the Roman sponge on a stick utensil?
Oh, their toilet paper,
Yeah, the
essentially.
guy that thought that was a good plan. I would like to go
Oh yeah,
visit
that's
him.
smelly. Let's go kill that guy.
That
Thank
seems
you.
like it's not a
Very
good
weather.
reason.
Pocket watch is coming out.
No, wait. Derek says, did any of you had something really bad happen? Drunk driving's bad, right?
Yeah, but that's not a person.
The
This
person.
guy with the stick and a sponge, he needs to be stopped.
What about like
But we could find a specific person, like we
Yes.
did with
there evil? Are there evil dentists? My sister said there was. He pauses for a second.
What?
I
Oh,
heard there were evil
oh.
dentists.
What if everything is real? Let's just take a bad guy from like a fake story that is real and kill that guy. Can we go kill the Emperor from Star Wars
or Sauron.
or Sauron?
You're gonna ruin my stories. No, we're gonna go do the sponge guy.
That's very true. That would really ruin a lot of stories.
That's true.
Hmm.
All right, let's go kill the sponge guy.
Sponge guy.
I don't. Yeah, you go on. While you go, Derek is like, I don't understand what this sponge guy is or like what you're talking about.
Yeah, Merriweather is like, just what? Who is this person? Why?
Oh, so I know this because I'm a big history nerd. In ancient Rome, they didn't have like toilet paper. They literally had a sponge on a stick that you used to wipe your butt.
It was in a communal pot of vinegar, and there was one sponge per bathroom.
Yeah.
That's positively barbaric, and I'm completely on board. Click.
Yeah. We're gonna go visit the guy that thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you show up in the middle of a Roman city, togas and chariots and whatnot.
There's a guy with a sponge and a stick and a bit of string.
He's
but
like-
he hasn't put them together
Yeah,
yet.
he's like,
He's like setting up his presentation.
yeah.
I can already see how this is gonna go horribly wrong.
Throw the orb.
You just throw it, it hits him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. You hit him in the head, it kills him, and then no one ever picks up what he did.
And then they're like, oh my, this idea must be cursed from the gods. We can never attach a sponge to a stick.
So, the orb flashes, and standing before you is Shalaya, the get her full title, Magister of Thenoth, Lady of Material Happiness. She looks at you rather quaintly with a smile on her face. Classic era. You summoned me.
It's a matter of hygiene that we need to rectify.
That's a poor choice of words.
I know.
Damn near killed him. Yeah. So that gentleman over there is your chosen target.
He's about to have a very unhygienic idea.
She looks at him and has a quizzical look on her face. Yeah, I don't know how to work in what she's supposed to talk about with this, you weird bastards.
I wash my hands of this. Pun intended.
Good. It's a gross place.
Yeah. Well, she does pontificate on why life matters more than freedom or achieving one's potential. It's an important thing to know about magisters of life. Before sighing at your idea and deleting this man and the space he would have
The universe?
occupied from existence. The ramifications of such being that toilet paper does take a little bit more time to be invented.
That's fine. There's
There
plenty
are
of
several
leaves.
other iterations that I'm not going to go through of what they tried instead of this. There was a pine cone shortage in the 1620s. It was very bad.
They just invent the bidet way earlier. That's what
That's
they
fair.
do.
Yeah.
Yep, it's everywhere now.
Corn was used for something else for
I
a
heard
while.
about that. So,
we have two spheres left.
I think
Okay,
Who's
so
up?
absorbing
Derek
freedom and
says,
stability.
take us to the he pauses, to the traffic intersection that's always the busiest in the entire world.
Oh no, that's a bad idea.
You
That
find
is such a
yourself
bad idea.
in the center of probably
It's gridlocked, it's fine.
a large city in China.
Probably. And
Are you using sanity or freedom?
Stability.
Stability.
Or freedom.
He's going to use stability to make it constantly in flux, which seems better than what it is right now.
Cool. Traffic lights be gone.
No, it'll be moving.
No, they'll be
Do it.
crashing into each other. Fancy man, can we float?
Yeah, you appear on the roof of a small building overlooking.
Oh.
And yeah, it's very congested. There's a very thick layer of smog. You can't see the sky above you. Yeah, traffic is at a standstill. All you hear are beeps and people yelling in, well, you understand the swear words, but they are in Chinese.
We have subtitles in our vision.
Yeah. So Derek says, I think if we throw the orb here, it'll make it so the traffic is never stopped.
I think we found the monkey's paw already, but sure,
You know what?
kid.
Fuck it, it's China. I don't live in China. Go for it.
I didn't live in Rome, but I still cared about their hygiene.
You know, and just in China they just don't have traffic lights.
He throws
That's
it. He throws the orb.
I am beyond thinking of good ideas.
You throw the orb down into traffic, and you lose sight of it. And off in the distance, you hear a rumbling, and you look off to the left down the road, and you see the cars just upending and flying off the road. as something very large approaches you.
Did the drivers look concerned that they're being upended?
I think
No.
this is one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, they aren't noticing.
Oh,
As long as they're cool with it.
As it comes into view, you notice a large 250-mile long serpent coming down the road, stopping at you, craning up its body and looking over. Looking directly at you. I gotta remember names.
Derek.
Derek.
There's 5 of us now.
What's the name of the
it's a
rat?
rat.
Why would a rat have a name?
If a rat wants
Doesn't
to
we
make
can
the rat
understand it.
smarter. It's a rat. He's a rat.
His name's Mickey.
That's offensive.
That's what JJ's gonna call him, is Mickey all the time.
Yeah, so the enormous serpent cranes its neck down and looks at you and says, you have summoned me.
How do you take a bath? You're really long.
In the oceans.
That makes sense. Okay. Can you make it so the intersection here isn't ever stopped?
You wish me to take the stability of this place, the rules that it operates by.
Now he stops and looks at everyone else.
Granted.
All right, too late.
Plows through the intersection. You notice when he's gone, there are no indicators of traffic lights, signals, no stop signs, none of that. It's utter chaos.
Just cars moving. They're just moving.
Yeah. Lots of honking, I'm guessing.
Someone's on top of another car in their car.
When there's an accident, there's another accident that pushes those 2 cars out of the way, and the cars just keep moving. Like,
They
it's
can't stand
just
still.
nuts.
Breaking news: China's death rate increases 300% due to traffic accidents.
Just in this one intersection.
Yeah.
What?
I'm imagining there's just like almost this empty zone, and then surrounding it where the area of effect of the effect wears off is just all these wrecked cars in like this circle. As they've like gotten off the highway.
Try and find a different way home from work.
Yep.
So as you all turn towards Merriweather to proceed to your final destination, a natural gas truck blasts into the side of the building that you're in and explodes, crumbling away the roof that you're standing on. Merriweather falls. What do you do?
Ineffectually
I help him. I would like to help.
You would like to
Yes.
assemble your intention, sir.
My skill is... Oh no, what happened to all my skills? I didn't save my skills. I believe I had help someone at like
in like
1?
coffee making. You had cold reading.
Oh yeah, cold reading 1, coffee making
4, I
4.
think.
4.
That wasn't called coffee making, but that's what you meant.
It's perfect cup.
Perfect cup.
Yep.
I had help at like...
Well, on the bright side, we can go back to the VOD where you went over it and just reassemble.
And I think you mentioned you were going to put some points in cool.
Yeah, I took a point from perfect cup, and I took a point from perpetual existence. Anyway, I had help at 1. I had
help at 1. All right. Are you spending will?
Yeah.
Because how much will are you spending?
Oh, where's that
1, 2, 4, or 8.
We're gonna go for 2.
So you're going
3.
with a 3.
Do something correctly, impress people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you, what do you do to help? Like, what does it look like?
I grab his hand.
That's it.
He's falling, right?
We're all
doesn't
falling.
sound impressive.
Oh, we're all falling?
I mean, eventually, yes, the building is crumbling.
I grab his hand as he slips, and I like to pick him up in a princess carry and jump to the next building
Oh.
with my cool
That's-
vampire powers.
Sounds incredibly impressive. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you put your arms around Merriweather and leap off to the building next to you. The rest of you are facing certain doom. Well, I don't know about the ethereal boy, but
Yeah. I don't think he falls. I think he's just still on top of the building.
Here's a question: Would you describe a truck barreling into a building as mundane?
yes. In this instance, it is.
Yeah, it's not supernatural.
Yeah, this is not a
excellent.
miraculous thing that's happening. It's mundane.
I have a passion for escaping the mundane, and I would like to use my creativity skill
Okay.
to creatively get out of this mundane situation.
And what is your creative solution?
My creative solution is grabbing onto the vampires. They jump away.
That's a really creative solution.
Fair enough. What is your intention level?
Can we go over that again? What is exactly intention level?
So mundane action. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
But I think that goes over it.
Difficulty chart?
Yeah, that's another handout that's there.
Yep.
I have the difficulty chart open.
Yeah, trouble magic edge. Oh no, that's not the handout we needed. Sorry. Oh, I didn't make a handout for assembling intentions. Fool me.
Spending will creates an intention. Found it.
Yes, it does. There you go.
Sentence fragment, sentence, or short paragraph.
Oh, my cool was at 2. Would this truck have even mattered?
I don't know if the truck is someone. It has an intention against you.
Yeah, this is just an environmental thing that was going to happen.
Oh, so do I add the rating of my passion and my skill?
Mhm.
And that gives you. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna put any will into this, so I get 5. Do something productive, something that makes your
Okay.
life better. I don't get blown up.
There you go.
So I'm out of will. I don't think that even lets me assemble an intention. I'm going to scramble away from the car and the natural gas and try and get to the other side
I
of the
might
room.
be able to help.
But
with
I don't
that.
think I'm even allowed to assemble an intention.
What I'm going to be doing is yelling and pleading with Merriweather. Merriweather, please take us to a jail.
God, no.
Okay. Your intention rating?
So I have a skill 1 of plead.
Mhm.
I don't think the passions I have matter.
Is it adding both intent or skill and passion? Or
You
is it
can.
just-
Yes.
If
If
they-
you can combine them, yes.
Cool.
So, I
I
think
have murdered the truck.
I think I'm gonna have to spend 4 will on this to bump it from 1 to 5 to get through to him and have him do it in while being grabbed and thrown to another building, or carried to another building. So I'm gonna spend 4
with
will.
with a intention of 5, I think you get his attention. He realizes what's going on. Quickly pulls out his magic watch and clicks it, and all of you snap to a jail in
This is a
China because it was the nearest one.
Yep.
This is a horrible, horrible place to use the last one because
I
some of
panicked.
these people. Can we go to? Well, okay. So the last one is
Take someone's freedom
absorbs
forever.
freedom.
Can we go to like a potato farm and just curse a potato?
That'll never be removed from the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. If we make it so it can't ever be free, why don't we go to like the oldest tree and they can never take it away?
Never be free to grow. See, the
Yeah, I
problem
wouldn't
is
grow anymore. Which the potatoes a better
Oh.
call.
What about a
They-
statue? Like an actual statue?
is there a statue in
It
this?
has to be
Yeah,
capable of having freedom.
Oh.
What? Okay. What if
Um,
we go? Can we go to like the prison cell of like a mass murderer who doesn't care that he murdered a bunch of people and use the orb on that guy so
Well,
he'll
that's
never
not
be
very
free?
powerful. That's taking freedom from someone who's already not free.
does the power level of what we're taking actually matter for saving the imperator or whatever? I asked Mary before.
I don't think it's power level. I think it's more symbolism.
Yeah, it's symbolism.
Okay.
And it's a way to introduce you to
What?
these 7 different types of imperators, one of which you will choose as yours.
Derek asks, climate change. Oh wait, he's from 30 years ago. He wouldn't know much about this, but he'd know a bit.
No, climate change has been around for a long time.
It has
that
been, so
whole
he does
concept.
know. It just wasn't talked about as much when he was around. But I think he says, "Can we stop the polar ice caps from melting?"
You want to go back 1,000 years and steal the freedom from an ice cap?
Well, we could do it from all of the ice caps.
Sure, do it. Throw the orb. Nope. We're just gonna see where the chips fall at this point. The kid's got a
I
plan.
nod. I'm out
All
of
right.
energy for making good
I
decisions.
mean, based on
To
what
be fair,
Meriwether
all
said,
of the good decisions we tried to make have backfired, and Derek is just like, "I guess I'll try this right now."
listen, I think if this is real, I'm now becoming a nihilist. Nothing matters. Let's just throw the orb.
I killed a bunch of people to give them a free bag of groceries.
We don't know if
I
they were
saved a
killed.
rat,
they might have
so,
just
like,
been
They might have just
teleported
been
home.
erased from existence,
Or teleported
which
home.
is,
Uh-huh.
you know,
We don't know.
Let's go stop the ice caps from melting.
yeah. Take us to the pole. You choose, Meriwether, north or south.
The North Pole's the one that's melting, I think. Actually, I don't know. He says,
I
like,
don't
in
know.
character.
North
It's
Pole
the
it
one that
is.
has polar bears. It's probably more important.
Yeah, I think. Did you know Antarctica and Arctica? Or wait, I think it's like Old Greek for. This is JJ. Old Greek for bears and no bears, or
Really?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Arctic is the land of bears, and the Antarctic is the land without bears.
Hmm.
We're going to the bear one.
Yeah, we go to the bear one.
Okay, so you find yourself on a free floating hunk of ice in a large sheet like of broken ice islands. It's bitter cold. None of you are dressed for this.
Done,
Derek's
Meriwether.
fine.
You make sure to transport us back somewhere useful that is not freezing, so that we're not stuck in Antarctica.
We've been in the Arctic Ocean twice because of the Titanic.
Yeah. Let's drop the orb. I'm cold.
Okay.
Yeah. Just toss it, Victoria Ghost Child.
Orb.
He, like, considers how to throw it and then does, like, an underhand toss into the water.
Yeah, you dip it into the water, and rising up out of it is this lady. She introduces herself as Denayal, Magister of Ruax, Lady of Dominion. And she looks at you assembled group, says, I suppose you've summoned me like the others to take the freedom away from something. What is your proposal?
Can you stop this ice from ever melting? Because I think that's bad if it's melting. Does that count as taking away freedom for it to melt?
This can be done.
He's making fast
As she like scans the horizon, and she seems sort of invigorated by the open frozen wastes in front of her. And she looks at you and says, "It will not be without consequence."
What is it?
You know, it's something we never asked. The consequences when we made these decisions. We never asked any of them what could go wrong.
To be fair, even when I
could go
even
wrong. I have an
started
immortal
to have
eye.
second thoughts, the serpent guy was just like, "Yep, I'm doing it."
Yeah, serpents tend to kind of not give a shit. They're rather ambivalent.
But yeah, no, I ask her what she means.
Well, in order to do that, certain things would have to happen. We would have to corral the freedom to impose warmth onto this land.
I'm confused. Isn't it?
Is that like fuck with the jet stream or something?
Oh, you're making it colder.
That would be
Maybe
one
it's
effect,
that
yes.
people can't use certain types of energy.
That's just in the Arctic Circle, or like whole world?
That is your choice.
Just
You have the freedom to choose.
Let's make it so no one could exploit the Arctic Circle, thus making like no oil drilling.
Thinking
Stuff like-
magic ice rock. Like this.
Oh yeah,
one,
or we could flat Earth it. That's fine.
this one doesn't melt.
This one in particular is what you're narrowing it down to?
like
the
this-
one you're
this
on?
small one we're floating.
Yeah, it don't melt.
This one specifically never melts.
It just doesn't know how.
I don't want to think about the physics of that.
No.
Yeah,
we're
apparently
just-
she's going to be doing it by manipulating physics, and that's not usually good.
I wanted to manipulate metaphysics. I thought this was the name of the game.
Is this your final decision?
Oh,
No.
it's the kids.
Do you have any suggestions?
It is not my place to impose my will. You have been given the freedom to choose. And freedom, very important to me.
Can we... I remember hearing once that, like, the planet slowly changes rotation speed or something. Like, he doesn't really remember what he's talking about, but I remember vaguely that, like, Ooh! He says, can we stop the sun from dying? Because it's supposed to blow up in, like, 5 billion years.
How bad would
Stick
that
with
be?
the ice rock. Ice. This ice.
This let's minimize the collateral damage.
Minimize
Maybe
this ice sheet.
this.
What would
specific
happen
thing,
if we stopped the sun from dying? Like, ever.
We should have used the black orb for that.
Yeah.
The ice sheet.
Don't tell
Instead,
your
we
rat
got-
that. Don't let your rat hear
We got
you
Mickey
say
Mouse
that.
right here.
So she's waiting very patiently for you to figure out exactly why you're standing in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. Merryweather, however, you can see like ice start forming on his ears, like brushing it away from his cravat.
Let's just do this specific ice that we're standing on does not melt.
Very authoritatively, I tell her, like, please make this specific ice not melt. Merryweather, after that is done, immediately, can you take us out of here, please?
To somewhere comfortable.
She takes the crest off of her forehead and sort of throws it into the air. And it turns into a dove, which in turn splits into 100 doves that set off in all directions. The doves will eventually settle on anyone that could cause warming to happen that would cause this particular ice sheet to melt. A lot of things are not ever going to happen now.
But we won't know what they are. Okay.
Yep.
That is
We'll be able
fine.
to tell whenever we see someone with a dove on their shoulder.
We should have went with the sun.
I think that
I don't think that
I
we
think
can think about the consequences of these things. Meriwether, can we go home?
Can we go somewhere nice?
I
Not
think you've
freezing.
quite learned that actions do have their consequence.
I think my head
actually
hurts.
had none. I had no actionable consequences. I got a friend and better toilet paper.
I mean, he can bite you.
Yeah, he can bite you and you can't kill him.
That's every friend.
Sorry, I just realized that's the vampire saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, Merriweather clicks his pocket watch again, and you find yourselves back in the park. Evelyn is there waiting for you.
All right, this was a good dream. I'm ready to
That
wake
was
up
a little
now.
bit horrifying.
Oh, you're done. Do you have the box?
What?
What?
The box with all the orbs, the spheres. You know what I just sent you to do? Were you off there fucking around the entire time?
Yes, we have the box.
And the
I looked
spheres
at
that we threw
Merriweather.
random places and never picked up again.
Yep. Meriwether, do you have
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Merriweather hands Evelyn the box. She opens it, and her eyes sparkle a bit as she notices all of these orbs are now energized. And she turns the box around to the four of you and says, now, the Imperator that you're going to create, you've just met the different types. The replacement of the Imperator that's dying could take any form. You can choose. Angel, devil, magister of light or dark, true God, magister of freedom.
I didn't like the
serpent.
serpent. It was not listening to us. Derek is just kind of rambling at this point.
Can we do a big cat?
Did we do a big cat?
Big cat.
What about a Pokemon? No, he doesn't. Yes, he knows what Pokemon are.
I like the last lady. She seemed nice. It did,
She was nice. The other lady before her was nice. The one with the vinegar stick thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, she seemed perplexed. Angel seemed creepy.
Yeah, I don't think we do angel or devil as much as the devil liked me, which is a little concerning.
Because it was rather rushed, angels are authoritarian as hell as a boss, right? Okay. Devils, they'll pretty much let you do whatever you want.
Oh.
What about the first guy? I liked him.
The true God?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different. They're more they're the hardest ones to explain.
They're the most distant from everything, I'm guessing.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, they're serpents are actually probably the most distant, but true gods are not ambivalent, but less
like
involved.
Cthulhu-esque.
Like they
like
figure they're always going to be around and always will be around. So,
Yeah, more apathetic.
I think we go for the last lady.
Yeah, what's the last lady? What's her
thing? Magister of the Wild.
Oh.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still kind of think serpent would be fun if we can't do big cat. Let's have a big snake.
I don't like snakes anymore.
No. They're creepy.
All right.
Fine. Let's do the freedom. Let's make a superhero. Let's assemble all the pieces into the divine chunk of freedom.
Yeah.
Let's
planet this bitch. All right. So yeah, you take the sphere of the wild.
We did literally ask her to stop global warming.
I mean, she did, but she's like,
we
yeah,
did
no
not
one
ask
gets
her
the
to
choice
stop
to do it
global
anymore.
warming. We stopped her to stop singular ice sheet
Okay, yeah.
warming.
We
also, people who
this
asked
part of
us
ice warming
about what we were doing, it was her and the angel. The angel was terrifying.
Yeah, the angel was not a great person to be around frequently.
So yeah, you take the Sphere of the Wild, place it on top of the other 6. Evelyn closes the box, asks you all to set your hands atop it. A beam of light casts out from the top of the box, and a silhouetted form begins to take shape in the pillar of light. The light recedes and will fade to black and make your Imperator when we meet next time.
Perfect. So
Can it just be like the stereotypical dungeon master?
like a robe and like
Yeah,
a
just
book.
a robe, because it's what is it? Stories, dreams, change, and menial labor.
Ouch.
That's just an underpaid author. That's all that is.
Yeah.
It's a ghostwriter. It's a guy in his mid-30s with a ratty coat.
Yep.
He comes out smoking a cigarette. It's like, all right, you shitty kids, what do you want?
All right. Well, we'll be back next week unless someone's unavailable.
Yeah.
With episode 2 of Nobilis. We have our Imperator in being created.
Yeah, sure.
Also, I very much think that sentient life is not valued, given that we just created some.
Did we?
I don't know.
What?
It's weird.
We didn't create sentient life.
Our Imperator might be.
We stole sentient life and gave it to the Imperator.
Yeah, maybe. This is a very interesting and strange setting.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Thank you for watching.